time, ladies and gentlemen, for the main event. The man you've all been waiting for, the author of the #1 best-selling book, Private Parts, the king of all media, Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen.
King of the dickwads, Howard Stern. All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Listen, I've been given a severe reprimand. I have to stay on schedule. I'm going to take a short break, Robin. With your permission, I'm going to take a short break.
Yes, please do, because I still haven't finished my makeup.
Let me see.
This is terrible.
I don't know. I like the minimal
Terrible.
look. I like the minimal look on you. What else you got left?
I have cheeks to do.
You know, your cheeks do look a little pale.
I'll do your cheeks.
Which cheeks? Okay, we'll take a break. You finish your makeup. I will begin, you know what I do over here. I don't even want to say. It's a secret.
I would love to.
And I will be right back after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. More after this. 97.1, The Eagle.
612 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle Weather. It's 616 at 97.1, The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagle's toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. Let's return to The Howard Stern Show.
I got to do this today. There's a couple of things I got to do today. First of all, I've got to work up the nerve to play you one of my old tapes from my first radio station that I uncovered. Actually, I didn't.
When did you get this?
A woman named Donna. She calls herself on the air Donna.
Oh, yeah.
You know her?
Sure.
Yeah. She used to. I used to work with her at WRNW, and she sent me a tape of my. She had a tape. This is really funny. Yeah, I was really bad on the air, and I was trying to be a straight disc jockey, and
what?
So we had to go and do a promotion, a movie promotion for Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, that Peter Frampton movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like years ago, someone decided to put Peter Frampton in a movie.
Everybody thought Peter had something.
Well, Peter Frampton was kind of cool. He was in Humble Pie, and he had this really cool band, and then they put out this concert album of his, and it was kind of cool, and he had the right image and everything, and all of a sudden, I guess they just screwed him.
Don't know what happened there.
He didn't know enough to stay out of stuff like that. So anyway, Frampton's in this movie with the Bee Gees called Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And it was like real bad.
And how did you help the effort?
So they paid us a bunch of money. You know, we had a station where we got $6 a minute
for a commercial.
For a commercial. So the station never made money, and the owners were like depressed because they weren't radio guys. They bought the station for $300,000, and they ended up a couple of years later selling it for $300,000 because. You know, they were depressed. They weren't making any money. It was like, well, gee, you have a radio station. Aren't you supposed to make money? But you couldn't make money at this station. There was no ratings. You had no way of proving anyone listening. And quite frankly, nobody was listening.
Where was this?
It was in Briarcliff Manor.
This was R&W?
WRNW, yeah.
Okay.
It was like a Westchester station.
Okay.
And Westchester's a pretty lucrative market. I mean, there's a lot of people that live there, and they're high income. And I don't know. It just didn't work out. The station had no ratings book, so there was no way of proving.
Is it still there?
Yeah.
So it survived?
Yeah. In fact, Meg Griffin's there working. She's the morning man.
Oh, is that where she went?
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, today she'll be doing a Save the Planet special. She's going to, I'm serious, I read that in the paper today, David Hinckley's column. She's doing a special 90-second report on how to clean the environment.
Well, I'm sure Meg is as happy
as a clam.
As a clam, that's right, because this is always what she wanted to do.
I would be depressed if I was working back at the same station that we started at, but she loves that as long as they'll let her spin her own records.
Well, she's always been a rebel, and this works for her.
Go for it, baby. God bless you.
She needs a little station like R&W in order to do what she wants to do, because the big ones won't.
The big ones won't let her. They don't understand talent. So anyway, she's back up there.
Because that's where you first met her, too, right?
Yeah. And she was the best disc jockey at the station. She actually had a rap and she had a style.
Yeah.
Her style was she spoke like a normal person. I was always on there like, well, thank you, Donna.
Trying to pretend to be somebody you weren't.
Yeah, so I found this really cool tape of me Well, she sent me the tape. She was nice enough to send it. So.
Wonder why she was holding on to it.
Because she's on it. She's the anchor woman, and I'm out in the field.
Oh, dear. It's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she goes, Howard, over to you. It wasn't like we...
No. I'm just saying it was one of those things where you try to pretend that you're really covering something.
Yeah, well, we were covering something, but it was nothing.
It wasn't anything.
Yeah. She's my Connie Chung in this. Yeah.
She said that her mother was cleaning her old room that she lived in like 20 years ago and found the tape.
Oh, really? Yeah, that kind of stuff happens. I know I find old tapes once in a while.
It's pretty bad, though.
Yeah, it's real bad. The tape is real bad, so I got to play that for you.
You haven't heard it, have you?
No, I heard some of it. It's real bad. That's why I haven't played it for you.
See, this is wrong. Never let him hear these things.
Nah, it's too embarrassing. You got the tape?
Yeah, you want
to do it now? Might as well. I did the build-up.
But, you really shouldn't listen unless you're with us.
All right.
My favorite part of the...
I couldn't even listen. I walked out of the room.
My favorite part of the tape is it sounds like you're talking into a microphone that's hooked into a phone.
I was hooked into a phone.
It was probably alligator clips or something.
I found Well, what happened was, this was kind of weird. So they sent me over. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band had already been released. It had been released to the, to the big theaters. There had been all the premieres and everything, and the movie had already bombed. It was already a bomb. In other words, it was out of the theaters after a week.
So what were you guys doing?
Evidently, whoever owned this movie, whatever movie studio put it out, had put in a big order for us to do not only the premiere and be all excited about it, but they also bought a schedule on the station. Now, you got to understand something. To get a sponsor like a big movie company, that was a major deal to this company. Yeah. So I had to go out that night and have the Westchester premiere of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And when I get there...
Was there anybody there?
There were 3 young teenage girls in the audience. That was it. And you got to understand, nobody knew who I was. And I'm standing there going, man, this is a great movie, man. But I'm trying to do it in my FM voice. Oh, I was so bad. That's why everybody predicted I'd go nowhere.
Now, this was your first professional job.
Yeah.
Now, Howard, the first...
My last, it should have been.
The first thing on this tape is not what you were just talking about. The first thing is, I guess, management used to put together, like, an example of each disc jockey, like a minute and a half, 2 minutes long.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't hear this.
Little sample?
This is a little sample.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
Yeah.
Good. I like it when you're sprung on you on the air.
I'm so bad. All right, here we go.
Hi, I'm Howard Stern, the program director of Westchester's Rock Station.
Oh, I put this together.
You put it together?
Yeah. Well, I was the program director, so I had to introduce the format.
Now, is this for the air?
No, this is for clients who... Because you got to understand something, all the clients were in Manhattan, and they couldn't hear the station. Listen to me already. I'm not playing this.
This is very funny.
I know. All right.
Because it sounds like you're pretending to be somebody else.
Yeah.
It's really hard to describe what makes a radio station a success. We here at WRNW have narrowed it down to a very few special elements. First and foremost, the music. I don't know that Stereo 107's music can be described in one catch-all phrase. Today's rock music.
Do I enunciate enough?
You go WRNW.
Hey, listen, Toothy, you better be quiet.
You better not say anything.
Yeah,
but,
you have no ability.
It's so funny to me because you're up there at a station that has no ratings.
Yeah.
And you say, what makes a station successful? We've narrowed it down.
Yeah, but we don't know because we're not successful. We just narrowed down what makes a station successful.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right, we heard enough of this.
First and foremost, the music.
A little bit more.
A little bit more?
A little bit more, yeah.
Oh, I can hear the whole thing.
Well, maybe you could sit through it. I can't.
And the music of years past.
Whole excited.
It's simple. WRNW has the music.
All right, I had enough of this.
Wait a minute. You are so funny. You won't even say anything in a regular... The music of years past.
I was a dick.
Did you write this as well?
I think so. I might have. I'd like to say...
like he wrote it.
I'd like to say someone else wrote it.
The music of
the music.
Past.
Oh, man. I was trying so hard.
Not oldies, but the music of years past.
It was a great format. It's the same stuff this station plays, except it was new.
Yeah, this was the new music. Go on. Let me hear what else you have to sell.
What?
Come on. I want to know what you're selling on this station.
And little Lynn Ronstadt.
And the music is the key to WRNW's success.
What are you doing, lowering your voice?
Yeah. All right, that's
Come
boring.
on,
That's
come
boring.
on.
Let's
Oh,
not
no,
listen
it's
to it
not.
anymore.
It's really not that boring.
Somewhere Pete Fornatella's goofing on
No,
me.
you know, this is inspiration for all young DJs out there.
Music out there. Music is the key to success. Let me take my jacket off. It's getting warm in here. Hey, it was 20 years ago, okay? 20 years ago today, Sergeant Ben Stern taught Howard Stern how to say.
WRNW is special with its music.
Hey, this guy's
We're
good.
doing something new and innovative, and we call it Concert Rock. The concerts represent the best works of artists like Paul Simon, the Doobies, Dave Mason.
What a
the
horrible
Eagles.
station.
Or how about Concert Rock with the Beatles?
And I was one of the better jocks.
How about Concert Rock with the Beatles?
Like Dracula talking. See, I told you. I was the world's worst disc jockey.
It's so funny.
Imagine who they didn't hire. I know.
If you were breathing, I think they took.
Well, I was I was the program director at this point, and I would hire anybody. If anybody sent a tape, I'd hire him. And if someone quit, whoever sent in the next tape got the job.
It was whatever tape was on your desk.
I didn't care as long as the guy showed up.
Did you discover any great talent?
No.
He discovered himself.
No, I really didn't. Like no one I hired ever went on to great things. I hired Mark Drucker.
Did you ever think that you were hiring great talent?
No, I knew I wasn't. I thought Mark Drucker was pretty good. I hired him, and he did okay. I mean, he actually went into radio.
Yeah.
And I hired a guy.
They go through the list. You go through the list of names in a couple of seconds.
Oh, I wish we knew what happened to all of these people.
And you list like everybody on the station.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can tell you where everyone is. I mean, I don't even know where anyone is. I was just concerned about me. You can see why I was insecure about going into radio. I'd listen to these tapes and go, why do I sound so awful? Why can't I talk?
I need somebody in my...
At least I did all the editing.
Well, the editing's good.
Thanks. I did all this.
And that's Concert Rock with the Beatles.
We're approaching 12 minutes before 8
Oh, this is Harris Allen.
Middle of the week.
He's on NEW, but I didn't hire him. He's the guy. This is kind of funny. You want to know about him?
He's on NEW now?
Yeah, NEW-FM. He's like a weekend guy. I hear him once in a while, but just listen to him for a second. I'll explain. Well, let me explain who he is first.
All right.
So I got offered a job at this station, and I was so bad, as you can hear, that I felt deep in my heart. I knew I was bad. I mean, I knew I was awful at it. And I said, how can I go into radio? And there was a bunch of guys who applied for this one position. It was 10 to 2 at night.
Okay.
And this guy Harris evidently he doesn't even know this, so I'm telling him for the first time, because he probably listens every morning going, what the hell?
He was awful. What happened to me?
Right. What happened to me? He was good. So anyway, there was a bunch of people up for this 10 to 2 at night job. Because, even though they paid $4 an hour, there was a lot of people who wanted this job. It was a rock station.
Are coveted,
yeah,
yes.
and it was a cool station because you could play whatever you wanted. So it was the 10 to 2 at night slot. I sent in the tape. I met with the guy, and he hired me. But I didn't know there was tons of people who had applied, and Harris was one of them. And when I turned down the job, remember I told you I turned down the job? Mm-hmm. Harris was the guy in the job. So I tuned in my radio that night to hear the guy who got the job that I turned down.
Yeah.
And I heard this guy, and I go, he deserves it. He's 10 times better than I am. How could they have hired me over him?
What were they doing?
What were they thinking? Because I tuned in, he sounded like this.
For 8 o'clock, middle of the week, it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, he sounds pretty good.
Good morning, I'm Harris Allen.
We have about 7 minutes down.
Oh, no, this is Wally Solinger. I don't know what happened to him. That was Harris Allen. So I tuned in and heard him, and I was like, wow, that guy's good. He's got a deep voice. And he can talk. He's not all nervous. But, hey, I'm doing better than all of them, so screw it. I came to certain conclusions they didn't.
Thank goodness you figured out your strength.
Yeah, well, that's when I decided I'm going to go be a morning man and talk normal. And, not worry about having a deep voice. All right, so, and I'm going to stop trying to be happy. That was my problem. I was trying to be like a nice guy.
Well, you were.
Yeah, I was trying to be like, hey, everybody, how you doing? You know what I was doing an impression of? I used to hear this guy on WCOZ in Boston when I was in college. This guy, his name was, I don't know, but he talked like that. His name was Clark Schmidt. And he used to get on and go, hi, this is Clark Schmidt. like a Casey Kasem.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? I said, let me see if I can do that. And for 2 years I tried to do that, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yes, I heard he leaped off a skyscraper.
Mr. Happy.
No, he didn't leap off a skyscraper. I'm kidding. He's probably living a happy life. So this guy's name is
Clark Schmidt.
This guy was my midday guy. He was Wally Solinger.
Okay.
Good morning, I'm Harris Allen.
Harris Allen.
About 7 minutes after 2 o'clock, Wally Solinger here with you.
My name is Donna. We're going to keep
That's
you
Donna.
warm with some music from the Scratch Band.
Leo Sayer.
That's Tom Jones.
Thunder in his heart.
He was my overnight guy. They were all better than me.
I was going to say,
but I was the program
You
director.
shouldn't have been on the air.
Yeah.
This is Michael Habercorn.
Tom Jones is my name.
Michael Habercorn, that was another jock.
All that for you at WRNW.
That was Habercorn. He had the same problem I did. He was trying to sound cool.
Air personalities that are knowledgeable of today's musical trends and in touch with
Shut up.
Westchester's people. WRNW's disc jockeys and personnel are Westchester's people.
What a phony voice. Oh, wait.
Are Westchester's people?
Let me hear. Maybe I have. Well, hey, come on. The production's pretty good.
You know what? Even the production is falling down.
Is it really? Bitch. Right.
Westchester's people.
White Plains residents in the Edgewood Street area.
She kind of went on. I hired her. She went on to something.
Uh-huh.
Her name was Barbara Malmit. Or no, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what her name was, but I think that's it.
And where did she go, Howard?
She went from there to WRVR, which is the all jazz station in Manhattan, but now is some black station or something. But RVR was like a big deal. I mean, it was a Manhattan station. She went right from there to...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't know where she is now. I don't know what she's doing now. But I hired her. But these people I didn't even hire. These were holdovers from the last minute. They all quit. And then they all left me, and...
You couldn't even hold on to your staff.
No, everyone used to quit. As soon as I came on board, everyone quit. I was such a bad program director. And then I had to hire a bunch of new people, and I was like, I don't know. I suck. How could I know who's good? And then whatever tape I get, I just hire the person.
Oh.
They say, you got a tape? You must know something.
At least you can put together a tape.
But I hired that guy, Mark Drucker. He went on to something. And then I hired a guy named Curtis K. He was pretty good. I don't know if he ever went on to anything. And that was his real name. It wasn't
Curtis
fake.
K.
I wouldn't hire a guy named Curtis K. unless it was his real name.
Okay.
And then I hired this guy, Gary Axelrod, who became a teacher of broadcasting. I met him a couple of years ago. And I hired a guy, Bruce Figler, who opened up his own little production company to make radio commercials. But, that's about it. But nobody really went anywhere. I mean, Drucker kind of went somewhere. He worked with the Zookeeper.
Yeah. Where's he now?
He's David Brenner's producer. I actually hooked him up with it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because Brenner needed a producer, and I like Brenner, so. And Drucker was out of work for we put him out of work for 2 years or something.
Yeah.
And he had a baby, and he wrote me a letter, and he said, geez, can you help me out? And
Have a heart.
and I said, you know what? I'll hook him up with Brenner.
Good. Well, Brenner needed a radio.
And they
guy.
like each other, so.
Good.
Yeah. I'm not a real good judge of talent, I'll be honest with you. I hired Glenn Harris to tutor my kids, the school teacher who ran off with that young girl. Hey, I thought he was a good guy. Figured you could teach him some gym.
You better stay out of the hiring.
There you go. All right, do we have to listen to any more of this?
Yes.
We do?
I'm very interested in what you're doing.
Events, investigative reporting, and the issues that directly affect our audience. WRNW News serves Westchester. WRNW News. 107 Close-Up. Susan Berkeley, Natural Food Restaurant.
I did all the production.
Wireless. Employment Report. Concert and Club.
Wonder how I did this.
WRNW Ski Report. And most of all, the music. WRNW is...
Could you take listening to that guy for more than 30 seconds? I don't even think I can do that. WRNW is...
Westchester's rock station.
Oh, honey, you turn me on.
I remember the owner of the station came to me and he goes, I want you to put together a 3-minute piece representing the entire station and what we're all about. That was my assignment. It was like being in school, and I was like, you're kidding. Why me? And I had such a big ego that I had to voice it because I was the program director. But meanwhile, I should have any one of those other people voice it, and it would have been good.
Typical PD mistake.
Yeah. The PDs are always the worst guys on the station. That's the rule. And by the way, Scott, that took me 5 minutes to produce. All right? The production was just as good as anything you do.
No digital workstation?
No. Reel and tape and razor blade. And I even had multiple voices going on there. Westchester 107 is music, news. Did you hear I did that? Let's see you do it.
Multiple voices.
All right, so
one voice just coming in and out.
All right, now here I am at the premiere of the Peter Frampton. You think that was bad? That was good. I'm proud of that compared to what I sounded at the Peter Frampton thing. So my assignment is to go. Now, there's 2 people in the theater, and I'm not allowed to make reference to the fact that there's 2 people in the theater. And I've got to be real happy, and, you get it.
All right.
I think you'll hear Donna.
Okay, Howard at the UA Cinema in Bronxville.
Hello, Donna.
Hi, Howard. How's it going?
I'm trying to come through here. I'm here live, I think. It's
yes,
pretty,
you are.
Well, the reason I just remember standing in the theater, in the lobby of the theater, and the owner of the theater was like disgusted because he had this radio station was coming to his theater, and the big disc jockey was coming down, who he'd never heard. By the way, all the theaters and stuff in the town couldn't pick up the radio station. We only had like 3,000 watts, and no one could pick it up. So the guy was like, "Oh, a radio station is coming to do the premiere."
Yeah.
And the guy even bought a schedule and the whole thing, and I show up, no van, no nothing. I say, "Do you have a telephone?" I unscrew his phone and put those two little monkey clips.
They're alligator clips.
Alligator clips is what they're called. Monkey clips. I take these 2 alligator clips, I clip them in.
Yeah, you break his phone.
And I broke the guy's phone, and I'm just holding a microphone. I should have just talked into the phone.
Yeah.
So I was like, "I'm here, I think." I didn't even hear her. And not only that, I'm the world's worst disc jockey.
Pretty tough to do sometimes. I've been trying to get in touch with you, but we're here. I have a whole bunch of people. Could everybody just kind of yell so the people at home know that there are a lot of people around?
Now, it sounds like I had a lot of people, right? But I rehearsed them for like 20 minutes, so it would sound like we had a lot of people at the premiere.
Well, I noticed it drowned out really fast.
Yeah, I mean, listen to that. It's like...
These 3 girls could only yell so much.
Yeah. At home know that there are a lot of people around. These people are...
Hey, Donna, next time you find a tape of mine, why don't you keep it to yourself?
No, please.
Yeah.
Please send it.
Yeah. You know how long I've held on to this? For like 3 months.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Gary every day says, "You got to play that WRNW air track." I go, "I'm getting to it. I'll get to it, you dick." Well, you know what tape I have?
I want to know about this.
I brought in a tape of my mother on my answering machine. You got to hear that later in the show.
This is recent. This is not.
Yeah. This is her air check.
A lot of them have just come out of the movie. Can we have a chorus of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Could everybody just... like 1, 2, 3...
And the girl yells out, "Go blow," and I know now I'm in trouble. Go blow.
Yeah, they did enough for you. They screamed.
Well, these people were here to see the movie, and they were irritated because they were seeing the world's worst movie.
Yeah.
And it was only 2 people in the theater, and this one girl, she wasn't there because she was a Howard Stern fan. Who would be a Howard Stern fan? You heard the way I talked. She didn't even get the radio station. So I go, she's standing in the lobby buying candy. And I go, "Hey, come on, sing Sgt. Pepper." And she was like, "Go blow." Go blow.
Full audience.
Yeah. And people were like, "Get out of here.
Oh, man.
Get out. You stupid goon."
Oh, boy, I tell you. Donna, I got to...
Oh, here we go.
Donna, there's not too many singers around here.
Yeah, those folks are never going to make it in showbiz.
Donna, I got to...
She wanted to crawl in the rock, Donna. She hated me anyway.
You're out there dying, and she's not helping.
She didn't really like me. I had a huge crush on her. I was engaged to Allison, but I had a huge crush on her. I should have known I was in trouble. She was really cute.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even look at me, and she hated me.
Why do you think she hated you?
I just knew she did. Everyone there hated me because I was the program director.
Oh.
And I was, all I cared about was my career. I didn't care about them, and I didn't care about the station. And it was obvious to everyone. I didn't care. I didn't really care. Because Donna I made her the music director. Because she was cute, and I figured she could meet with record company guys.
Right.
That
was it?
Yeah.
Her whole rationale?
That was my whole rationale, I swear to God. And she seemed kind of mature, and she had really big breasts.
Oh.
She was gorgeous. And I remember, I was always trying to, flirt with her and stuff.
Yeah.
She would have that's when I got married. I said, "You know what? There are no girls who want me."
She forced you into marriage.
Well, I ended up in a hotel with her one night. It was right before.
She was one of the people?
Yeah, it was her, this guy, Jeff Levinson, and a woman named Cynthia.
Right, we've met Cynthia.
Yeah, and Cynthia...
And you were the boss.
I was the boss, and what happened is none of us had any money. So there was a blizzard. I had to be on the air the next day. Someone had to be on the air, and I knew that. So I said, let's go to a hotel. And I had a car that didn't have a heater.
Yeah.
So I was driving to this hotel, and I remember all the ice fogged up stuck onto my windshield, and I had to drive with my head out the window.
Well, that's a real turn on to a woman, too.
Yeah, but she had no car. We were all disc jockeys together. Yeah. We get to the hotel, and me and Jeff are in one bed, and Cynthia and Donna are in the other bed. The lights go out. Jeff gets out of my bed, climbs into bed with Donna, and Donna was crying because her boyfriend had broken up with her, and Jeff was trying to console her all night. And Jeff was trying to make time with her.
Of course.
But she wasn't having anything to do with him, but she was at least friendly with him.
At least she was crying on his shoulder.
So I'm laying in bed by myself, and Cynthia, Donna, and Jeff were all in bed together talking, and I'm just like, would somebody sleep with me? No one wanted to even be with me in the bed. And I said, I better stick with Allison. This is a clear indication.
They gave you a whole bed to yourself.
Yeah, and I had to spend a lot of time with Donna because she was the music director. We were both management and everything, and she just could barely talk to me. She hated me. Yeah. I was pretty much disliked. That's when I decided I had to hire my own people.
Get your own crew, people who would like you.
I hired them. They didn't like me either.
That didn't work.
No. And I was like, oh, man, I can't believe this guy's going to get to, have sex with Donna. And I'm not. She should want me. I'm the program director. And this guy, I was thinking, hey, he's a loser. He's not the program director. Well, he was no loser. He had a rap. I had nothing.
And that sealed it for you. You just said, I better stick with Allison after that?
Yeah, I was just like, I can't, because all this Donna had to do was touch me, and I would have broken up with Allison and gone with her. Would have married her.
Oh, you're so silly.
Yeah, but she didn't want me. Nobody wanted me. Allison was the only girl who wanted me, and head over heels wanted me.
And I don't know why you put that down.
There's something wrong with her. But Donna was my last barometer. Believe it or not, that night...
I thought Meg Griffin had something to do with it.
No, Meg was unobtainable. I would have loved to have had sex with Meg. I tried to be sexy around her and stuff, but she totally hated me because I was the world's worst disc jockey. She didn't think I belonged on the station. She couldn't understand why I was on the station.
Oh, no.
She really hated me. And then when I became the program director, she really hated me because her boyfriend got fired as program director.
Right.
And they both quit.
You ruined that.
Yeah. It's a lot of bad memories. My whole past is pretty much bad memories. I don't like to really dredge it up. Meeting you was good for me. You liked me.
I'm the only other person.
Yeah. You and Allison. Jackie and Fred still hate me.
I was going to say, you still don't have people working with you who like you.
No, Fred likes me. Jackie doesn't.
I hate you.
Well, Fred likes you, but he doesn't hang out with you.
Well, I don't want to hang out with Fred, so the feeling's very mutual.
There you go.
Yeah. Fred and I would hang out.
I would hang out if you could stand me.
You guys should hang out with each other if you don't have to be together.
One of the guys who likes you, you don't like.
Fred likes me, but I can't hang out with Fred because Fred, when he starts talking, I don't know what he's talking about.
He zones.
Yeah, I zone. He just goes on and on and on.
I dabble.
Yeah.
And Jackie doesn't like you.
Yeah, Jackie's kind of fun to hang out with, but Jackie thinks I'm too uptight and I don't know.
You're not a good time guy.
I'm not a good time guy. I'm not like one of his loser friends who sit around and drink and smoke pot all day and do psilocybin. Yeah, I don't want to lay out on his piece of wood all day.
Yeah, you don't want to lay on that ugly beach.
I got to be honest with you. I don't want to hang out with anybody. I just hang out by myself. And I'm my best friend. All right?
Do you like you?
Do I like me? No.
Oh.
This is terrible.
Do we have to listen to any more of this?
Yes,
right.
I want to get to the end.
Oh, the end? Forget about it.
Jason, we have some WRNW fans over here. I met them before the movie, right?
And this was a lie.
These people were loud. They were clapping. This is before the movie went on, Donna.
I hope they weren't let down.
No.
Yeah, this is after the movie. This is after the movie.
She knows how bad it is.
And I told we all know how bad it is. The reviews had already been out about the movie, and I told these people, you better say the movie's good or else we're finished. And I think I had some shills in the audience, too. There was nobody there who liked the movie. People were walking out. There were only 2 people left. And I told them, please just say the movie's good.
You weren't let down. During the movie, I heard them singing. What's your name?
Rena Gomez.
Rena Gomez.
See? Puerto Ricans.
They didn't even know what the movie was about.
See, I love
it. They were happy to see anything.
Could you come here for a second?
She was walking away. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Yeah. First of all, I want to give you an album, the Robert Palmer album, which has nothing to do with the Sgt. Pepper's movie whatsoever. And I got somebody over here who wants a war album. Here's a war album for you. I want to ask you a question. Before the movie, you were singing already, and now in front of the microphone, you won't sing a word. Why is that?
I'm embarrassed.
I have a feeling, you know, we're stationed in Briarcliff Manor, and Peter Frampton lives in Briarcliff Manor. Don't you think that Peter Frampton got discovered just by doing this kind of thing? He was hanging out in a movie theater. I was doing a remote, and he...
All right, I had enough.
Howard.
All right, Robin.
I don't know what to say.
Hey. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Well, you try that.
Are you delirious? What's going on?
I was trying to be happy. No. Hey, Fred, when I got to Hartford, was it much better?
Much better.
Yeah, thank you.
Much better than that.
Oh, I'm going to give you a Robert Palmer album.
And lucky you get a War album.
Come on, let me hear a few more minutes.
Hey.
It must get better.
No. I can't imagine it does. I don't think I got past this.
Oh, dear.
Right.
Sang a few words into the microphone. Would you be willing to do that?
If Susie does it with me, come on.
Where's Susie? Donna.
I'm there with two kids who would just...
Here's
I mean, come on.
You
It
sound
was
like
an impossible assignment.
the world's saddest guy.
And by the way, that Don is really helping me out, isn't she?
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
She's
letting
no
you
help
die.
at all.
Yeah,
You're
she's letting me die.
dying,
That's
and
because she didn't like
she's
me.
not helping.
And I'll tell you something. All she wanted to do was introduce records. She could have gotten on there and done a little, you would have jumped in.
Absolutely.
And said, hey, Howard,
It's a team effort.
All right.
It's the station we're doing this for.
Yeah.
She's on the line the whole time.
Yeah, she's just sitting there.
She's sitting there listening to him.
Yeah.
You could tell she was hostile from the beginning, but
Yeah.
it was like, oh, you think so?
Yeah, right.
Let's go to Howard.
Yeah. That's how she was in that hotel that night. And she had some body. I don't know. I haven't seen her in years.
How come we've never talked to her? I didn't even realize you had this connection.
Hey, Gary, you got a number on her? She's a disc jockey at WLIR. I mean, WDRE, they call themselves now.
She your age, huh?
What?
I don't think she's there anymore.
Oh, she's not?
Yeah, no.
She's gone?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the only number I had for her.
What number?
The DRE number?
Yeah.
Oh, she didn't give you a home number?
No.
Oh.
I don't think she want. I got the impression she didn't want me to have it.
Oh, really?
For just this reason.
Yeah.
Oh, flunky.
Well, if anyone knows her, can you call her up?
Yeah, have her call us. We'd love to talk to her.
Yeah, have her call, right now. Wake her up. Because she should have helped me out.
Yeah, what's going on here that you let your fellow disc jockey die out there?
John was asking me, how old are you in this tape? About 25?
No.
No,
I'm about
22?
20, I'll tell you exactly how old I am. It's 19, 22. So it's 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, we're responsible for breaking a lot of records. There are record companies all day trying to get us to play their records. I have discovered two unknowns. Can you sing a few words of Sgt. Pepper's? And what was your favorite song in the movie?
None.
No?
Oh.
This was like the remote from hell.
Oh, that's...
I'm working with people who just don't... They wanted to get out of the theater. They hated the movie.
You haven't asked one of them what they thought. It would have been good to have people going on, oh, that was the worst piece of crap.
No, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't ask them what they thought because they would have said it was bad.
So you figured you couldn't go wrong by asking which is your favorite Beatles.
Right. And they just didn't even know. They were there for Peter Frampton, and they hated the music because, it
Well,
sucked.
Donna didn't seem to care because I hope they weren't disappointed as
Right.
soon as you said there were enthusiastic people in the crowd.
And that's why I think I kind of didn't talk to her because she didn't understand the sales effort of the station. We're trying to make money.
The Beatles music. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, remember them? All these people remember the Bee Gees. The Beatles wrote this stuff. Does anybody want to sing a Beatles tune?
No, I don't.
You will be famous. There are lots of people listening.
Yeah, 3. My parents. All right. I don't really want to relive this.
Now
you relive it.
Now you're badgering your audience.
Because it gets worse.
Please sing, you people.
Well, it gets uglier. Because then I'm left alone in the theater, and Donna's not talking to me.
How long does this go on?
It's got to go on forever because they paid for a movie premiere broadcast, and I'm there by myself. I'm in the theater with an angry guy who's running the theater, wants to close down and go to bed. He's got a stiff movie nobody's coming to see, and he's got a moron standing in his lobby asking people to sing songs.
Oh, dear.
I didn't know what to do. I wanted to go home. I don't even know why I went into radio after that experience.
Whew.
Yeah.
Well, you knew that you were destined to do this because you didn't leave after this experience. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's real bad. Thank God they didn't dress me up in a Sgt. Pepper outfit. That would have been worse. Imagine. At least I got to wear regular clothes.
I don't know. I don't think anything could have hurt that.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, I don't know if I could take much more.
The early days of radio. It's fun to look back.
For you.
Yeah, for me?
What do you think of Steve Martin? Isn't he a crazy kind of guy?
I'm a wild.
He is a wild, swinging guy. Well, thank you. You want an album? They run away. They don't even want to. They want an album. Everything wants an album. They don't say anything.
I can't even give away albums. I was really trying, too. I was doing this on a station no one listened to. I mean, thank God. And no one, no one cared. The disc jockeys didn't care. Nobody cared.
Oh, dear. We all had to come from somewhere, Howard.
And you know how disc jockeys usually get laid and stuff? The guy shows up with a microphone. A lot of people were running away from me. I was the disc jockey from hell. Hey, want an album? No? Who wouldn't take a free album?
Usually people gravitate to somebody like that.
I know, not me.
Yeah, somebody with a microphone, somebody who says you're on the radio.
Yeah, no. This station, me, the whole thing was a losing proposition. And I was the program director. Well.
You know what? I'm beginning to feel like Allison. Well, what did I see in you? That really wasn't the first tape I heard of you.
No, you met up with me much later on. You met up with me in Detroit. I was pretty good by then.
Oh, goodness.
I was pretty good in Hartford, actually. I just kind of said, I can't be a happy disc jockey anymore. I got to let
that up.
I said, I got to let my true feelings out, like I did in college. This is the kind of college radio, the kind of show we do here is, you've heard my college days. This is what I did.
Yeah, your college tapes aren't bad.
Yeah, I went to this because my father told me to go be like a professional smooth disc jockey.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah, your college tapes are very good.
No, this was my 2 years of trying to be a professional disc jockey, and I couldn't do it.
Oh, man.
And my father is the one who did that to me. He heard
and did you play this for your father?
My father had got the station in his house. He had a special antenna put up, and he was disgusted. Because you're horrible.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I said, why am I listening to him? What does he know? His biggest year was $20,000 a year. Why didn't I go back to doing my college radio show?
Yeah.
Where I was wild and, doing all kinds of stuff and getting fired. That's when I went back to that. I couldn't make it as a professional disc jockey. I didn't know how to do it. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, RNW, WRNW.
Yeah, and those call letters slide right off the tongue. WRNW. WRNW. I don't know, man. It was a low point.
Know that the music is key.
Know that the music is instrumental.
At some point, the music was key. It was the most important.
Well, what are you going to say? The guy said to me, put together a 3-minute piece on how great the station is. All we did was play old records.
Music from past years.
Present years.
The present years.
And we were innovative because we had concert rock.
How about concert rock from the Beatles?
And that was my big innovation, concert rock.
Yes.
Where we would play an hour of one artist.
You didn't play an album. You put together your own concert.
Our own concerts. 20 minutes out of every hour had a concert.
Yeah. Wow.
Stupid idea, right? Who'd want to hear 20 minutes of the same artist?
I could be doing that once a night.
No, I was doing it every hour. Like a schmuck. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I had no clue. No one listened anyway. Who cared what I did? I'm going to go home. All right, let's take a break. We're behind in commercials. We'll be back right after these words.
We'll be back with the Howard Stern Show. Don't go away. 97.1 The Eagle.
6:54 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter. It's 6:57 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern all morning. Pure rock all day. Yeah. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Donna, I got a man here in a blue jacket. Can I ask you a question? You're associated with the theater. What do you think of this crowd? I think it's a good crowd. Thinks it's a good crowd. Well, okay.
What was the general consensus?
The general consensus is with a lot of smiling faces around me, so I think everybody's happy.
That's always a good sign.
I got a guy here who says he's a Beatles aficionado. What did you think of the movie? The Beatles are the best ever. The Beatles are the best ever, but what about the Bee Gees and Frampton? Do they come second best?
I'll tell you, I came into the movie theater with a bad attitude. I was just going to say, well, this is going to be a bad movie.
Right.
And it wasn't. It was decent.
It was a good movie. And what was the highlight of the movie?
Well, I didn't expect it to have a story.
Right.
And then it really did. It kept my interest, you know.
At least I found a guy to talk to me. I think that guy was actually with me. I think he was someone from the station. I couldn't get
Even his rave isn't enthusiastic.
No. He was like, hey, the movie had a story. I was happy.
I came in with a bad attitude, and it didn't suck.
The producer of the movie.
Yeah. I think it was me throwing my voice.
Yeah, that's right. It's really good. That's right, Howard.
I know, and it's kind of hard to... I don't know where this conversation went, but...
Hey, Donna, I got to tell you, George Burns...
here we go.
I have an album for you, too. Wait a second. Donna, I have to tell you, this is crazy. George Burns is an old cod, you know what I mean? But this guy dances. You can't believe it. Today...
Imagine trying to talk up the Peter Frampton movie.
George Burns.
Yeah. No, well... I had enough. I had enough of bad radio. Well, you know... Things going really well here, Donna.
Would you like to sing a song from the movie? No? You don't remember the music of Lennon and McCartney? No?
Would you like an album?
No.
No. Would you like me to leave? Yes.
Peter Frampton lives in Briarcliff.
Yeah.
How do you think he got discovered?
Yeah, we discovered him here on the air. He came in and was in a movie theater, and he sang a couple of songs from the movie.
It was similar to this.
Yeah.
No.
Wow. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? You're on the air? Hello? Hey, you're on the air. There's more tape, but I'm afraid to listen to it.
It only gets worse, it sounds.
San Diego, you're on the air.
Hey, man, that tape is vintage.
Yeah. It rules. It rules.
That it is.
It rocks. You know, maybe we'll play some more later. I got to work into it. You know what I mean?
We all have to recover.
Yeah. We're all a little shook up.
So those people are just talking into a telephone.
Yeah. They're talking into a telephone, and I'm standing there. Hey, how'd you like the movie? Meanwhile, these people are pissed. It was the worst movie ever. But they should have known better. It was already out in the theaters for a couple of weeks, and everyone knew it was bad.
Why did you do a pre-sell as opposed to a post-sell?
Because I know exactly the answer to that, believe it or not. I guess in the promotion, don't forget, the movie company thought this was going to be the biggest movie of all time. Because the Bee Gees were real hot and Frampton was real hot. This ended everyone's career, including mine. So the movie company thought, hey, what we'll do is in all the primary markets we'll have, big promotion and stuff. But 2 weeks in, or 3 weeks in, we'll go to some of the secondary markets, and ours was like a tertiary market. I mean, we'll go to some of the really small markets. And we'll do some more promotion, like we'll have a Westchester opening of the movie, and we'll do, so this was like, and at this point, I guess the movie studio forgot to cancel. They knew the movie was a bomb.
But the thing is, was it already planned that instead of doing a pre-sell, you do a post-sell?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it was like 3 weeks after the movie, and I remember going out there going, oh my God, everyone in the world knows this movie sucks. There'll be no one at the theater, which there no one was.
Except for Miss Gomez.
Yeah, Miss Gomez. Would you like an album? No. Hey, would you sing?
What's your favorite song? I don't know.
Would you like the movie?
No.
Well, Donna?
What did you consider a highlight? Nothing.
Nothing. Oh, my God. Not only am I bad, she's feeling bad.
She's worse.
Can somebody save me? Yeah. I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, never mind. I'm hearing things.
All right, man. I got to go.
Hey, can I ask the OJ ball question?
OJ ball?
Yeah.
I was sort of into... all right, I'll do an OJ thing quick.
Okay.
You want the Elephant Boy 8-ball, Judge Ito 8-ball, Arnold Schwarzenegger 8-ball, Cato 8-ball, Wood Yee 8-ball, or OJ 8-ball?
OJ 8-ball it is.
All right, what's your question?
OJ 8-ball, what was it like to go out with Tawny Katane, then come home and beat the crap out of your wife?
No. You didn't ask a yes or no question.
It's got to be yes or no.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. All right, thanks, guys.
You're as bad as those guys in Westchester.
F you.
F you, too.
Way to play along.
Dick. See you guys. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
You know that Meg Griffin works on that radio station now.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, she's doing...
She's a little too good.
You, as a matter of fact.
What was that?
She's going against you.
Yeah, well, no one can pick it up.
Yeah, but Meg always wanted to work morning drive.
Meg is one of these disc jockeys who is real good and everything and could have been real big as a disc jockey, whatever that is, whatever, how big he can be. And she was on New York radio and everything, but she always had this thing. She had to play her music. And the only stations that let you play your music is college radio stations. And Meg really feels the music she plays...
How did she fare at NEW?
She was at NEW, and then her boyfriend, her husband, got this job at PIX. It was a failing radio station where he was playing way out music. All the jocks played their own music and stuff. It was completely whacked out. So she quit NEW, went over there, and burned her bridges there. Went over to PIX, and then when PIX fell apart, she came over here to this station. We were a rock station.
Uh-huh.
And then when we went classic rock, it drove her nuts because she couldn't play her own music.
Yeah.
But really what's happened in the world is that no radio stations let you play your own music. Because it turns out, like, I remember Meg, when we worked together, she would play her own music. I don't know what the hell she was playing.
Once a year she would get together with Ben Skelsa.
And that guy Lenny Kaye.
And they would do a Christmas
show and play their own music.
And they would play their own Christmas music, and it was Christmas music from hell. You never heard Christmas music.
Because Meg's really into obscure music and thinks it's like the coolest thing that she's into obscure music.
And she's turning everybody on to it, and you're not hip if you're not into this.
Yeah, and I used to listen to her show and try to listen to it and get into it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what she was playing. I didn't, it just was way out there.
Yeah.
And she thought she was way out there because she was playing way out there music.
Right, because I remember one night running into her at the Ritz, and all of her friends were like Jackie's friends. People who are bitter.
Yeah, losers.
Didn't make it.
Yeah,
all sort of musicians,
yeah.
but not in the mainstream.
Yeah. Well, they looked at what I was doing. I went off to become a morning man and say whatever I want. I mean, I think they looked at me like I was out of my mind. So...
I spoke to Meg a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And she said she loves it. She's having the time of her life.
Yeah.
She did admit.
But she makes no money.
Right. She did admit the money wasn't that great.
But she doesn't care that she makes no money.
But she's also, you know what else she was really psyched about? She's got like an all-woman morning show because she's got like a newscaster and a traffic reporter who are women,
right.
and a female producer.
Super.
But
That's great.
You can hear the pain in her voice every time she has to introduce a whole record.
Yeah, but she digs holes.
She would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just hear the pain in her voice. Because sometimes when you guys go to commercial, I flip over to her just to get a good laugh.
All right, man.
Take it easy. Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Shoeboy.
Shoeboy?
Shoeboy.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
That's supposed to mean Shoeboy is the king of all AV.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Dick.
Howard, my show. What?
Maybe we ought to take a break here because waiting in the wings is the guy that slept with his mother.
Oh, good. All right, great.
Where have we gone?
Yeah. This is cool. We got a guy waiting in the wings who actually slept with his mother.
And let's not even tell any other story. Just leave him with that.
Yeah.
He slept with his mother.
Yeah. And by the way, we are converting to an all-female show. I'm going to fire Gary, get a female producer, and get all females working on the show.
You'll have a female Fred and a female Jackie?
Yeah. So it'll be fun when they all get their periods at the same time. You know that happens? Women get their periods. Women who hang around together a lot get their periods at the same time.
That's strange.
Isn't that weird?
Why is that strange?
It's
Women
so strange.
are working on a cycle, and we relate to people. So when you relate to people,
Robin, hold it.
Sort of mesh
Stop.
with them.
No.
What?
It's very strange.
It is not strange.
How does your body know that another woman? Your body doesn't know. Like I get stomach cramps.
It's a chemical thing.
Did you and your exorcist?
You don't even understand it. Don't even pretend like it's not an odd thing.
Oh, behave.
No, stop it. You're making a statement that's bizarre.
About.
What do you mean? All women
I am on the same cycle as you.
Yeah, good. I'm telling you, my wife sometimes hangs around with friends, and they all start to get their period together. It's like the body changes.
We are accommodating people, we women.
That must be one ugly week with a pack of women like that.
Imagine Meg's show when you got like 7 women working on a show and they all have their periods at once. We're having our periods.
Once again, I would like to say, working in this gaggle of men, gaggle of
and you wouldn't have it any other way.
I don't think you have any problem with me any day of the month.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have a problem with you every day of the month.
That's right.
So it's consistent.
Robin would not want another woman working on this show.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, no, I know that. Even in your book, you admit it.
Work on this show.
Even in your new book, you admit it. Judy DeAngelis, we had her on the show. Robin wanted to rip her breasts out of her socket.
Oh, yeah, she said that.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, sure it didn't.
Nothing to do with you in particular. And I worked fine with
Now,
it.
wait a minute,
Back
Robin.
in the newsroom.
You couldn't even handle it. If I had another woman on here, you'd go out of your mind.
Robin, should I embarrass you now?
If they were taking my job, I would have a problem.
Oh, you are something.
I'd be the Dan Rather to her Connie.
You should have heard the stuff that Robin used to say.
And female interns are so popular with Robin.
Oh, here we go. I've had plenty of female interns.
And every one of them has ended in disaster.
No, it has
Everyone
not.
has left the building running in tears except for one.
Dear, you know you guys generalize.
All right, name everyone to her that has ended up in a...
Who has run out crying? Name them all.
Kristen was one.
Kristen, I saw walk out crying. Your assistant...
You never
Sherry.
saw her crying.
She won't even talk to you.
You never saw her crying. We're talking about people who ran out crying.
Did she write you a note saying drop dead?
Excuse me? No, she did not.
What did she say in the note?
I don't remember.
Right, yeah, good.
You're jumping categories here.
Her assistant is still running. No one can find her. She's somewhere.
Jumping categories. Like, you're such a dream.
Hey, people work with me. I can work with men and women.
Yeah, right, and there are no interns who have any problems with you.
No, there really aren't.
There aren't.
Oh,
you don't get along with
They
anybody.
don't tell anybody because you're so big.
You don't get along with
I'm the one
anybody.
that people get to complain about around here.
Because you are whacked out.
Yeah.
You read your book.
Absolutely. I'm a bitch. You're right.
Not a bitch.
No.
You don't know how to relate to people. It's the way you were brought up. No.
I'm a bitch.
Oh, you wish you were a bitch.
Horrible. I'm a horrible human being.
What intern left here happy that they knew you?
You're right. There's a better...
What do you want from me? I'm not making this up. You wrote it in your book.
All right. That's fine.
Are you denying what you wrote in your book?
All I can say is you idiots stay around.
What?
What?
If I'm so horrible, why do you work with me?
I have no problem with you.
The money's good.
Yeah. It's working out great. I never had a problem with you. You know, I read one intern is now in electroshock therapy.
And that's my fault.
Hey, but you're cured now, so what's the difference?
There was one intern...
Thank God you cured yourself.
There was one intern that Robin had that left her happy, but she was really sort of like arrogant and nothing bothered her anyway.
Who was that?
That's the way you're supposed to
She was a news intern. But she was like one of those people...
That's the way they're supposed to be.
You just couldn't rattle her. You know,
Well, can we get her back?
She just didn't care, you know?
Yeah. So the guy slept with his mother.
Yep.
Hey, Robbie, that's the one thing not in your book.
To you.
Why? What do you want from me?
You call me nasty things and say horrible things about me.
I'm just trying to sell your book. What do you want from me? It's all in there. Quivers a lie? Is that what you're saying?
What?
Are you saying Quivers the whole book is a lie?
It's a lie.
You said that you were sick and you couldn't get along with people because your sense of reality was off.
Right, but you just said I hate women and don't want to work with them.
I didn't say you hate them. You just don't want them on the show.
Right. It just hasn't worked out.
Let's put it this way. You're right. It just hasn't worked out with any women on the show.
Oh, here we go.
And it ain't about
It's my fault that women don't work on the show. That's a nice thing to say.
You are in love with me, and you don't want to share me with anyone.
You know what? I figured it all out yesterday. You are in love with me.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Not for a minute. I won't deny it. You're
That's
special.
your problem, and you're projecting.
I would love to do some rudeness to you. At least I'm honest.
And people recognize it. Yesterday in Paramus, people coming through the line said, I can see why Howard's so in love with you.
Of course. But why don't you fess up? I would love to. I would love to.
They would like to fess up.
I would love to fess
You
up.
know, but this way you paint me, I understand Gary doing it.
Why?
You
Wait a second. Why do you understand me doing it?
You hate me.
I don't hate you.
I read your book. I read your book. You told me you're crazy. I agree.
Yes, but it had no particular female or male bent.
All right. Well, okay.
You act like the guys who worked with me left happy.
Well, that's true.
No, you fired them before they could leave unhappy.
So I did do better with the women.
Yes, you did very good. You're very proud of yourself.
Robin,
around so you can destroy.
I don't hate you, Robin.
Oh, you do.
I don't.
You could only say those things.
Don't even suggest that. That's absurd.
Yeah, that hurts me.
All right, listen, let's take a break. Let's forget about Quivers of Life for a second. Because we got a guy he's one up to you.
I want to write his story.
You ought to talk to this guy. While you were with your father, he slept with his mother.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with this exciting story. Every sexy detail. Right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. Stay right there. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:13 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle.
Bart Simpson is rude.
Eat my shorts.
He's crude.
Your son flushed an explosive device down the boys' lavatory.
What can I say? I got a weakness for the classics.
And he's finally gone too far.
I think it behooves us all to consider deportation.
Deportation?
Hear him out, Mark.
Will Bart be a 10-year-old exile?
What do you know about France? I know I'm going and you're not.
Oh, Simpson.
Tonight at 6:30 on KDAF, Fox 33.
It's 7:19 to 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard, Harley, and Fuel Clock. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
Jackie Joe Manmalo, 78 minutes of jokes on CD or cassette. It's $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special, buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING this Thursday night, May 25th at Roscoe's by the Shore in Ocean Township, New Jersey. For filthy jokes and Jokeland's internet address, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Good for you, Jackie. Sounds like you got a lot going on. And Paramus yesterday, Robin, did we see a lot of fans?
Yes, we did. Had a good time.
Had a good
and
time?
I was early.
Good for you. Well, is that the last book appearance, or will there be others?
No, there are more. I'm going to Cleveland in June. June
Yes.
3rd, I'll be in Cleveland.
And where else will you be?
And the others are still to be scheduled, but I'm going to Dallas and Chicago.
Oh, you are?
Maybe Miami and Orlando.
Now, when will you do these? Primarily on weekends because of your busy schedule during the week?
I think I'll take a week off after what was said to me earlier.
Well, which thing are you exactly referring to that you're taking a week off because of?
That I'm a horrible human being and I don't allow women on the show.
I didn't say you were a horrible human being.
Well, you might as well say it if you're saying I don't allow women on this show.
I didn't say you don't allow it. I said you wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it.
Yeah, right.
You like to be my girl.
Yeah.
Daddy's girl.
Daddy.
You know, Robin, it is not uncommon, by the way. Our next guest is someone who slept with...
It's not uncommon?
It is not uncommon to sleep with your mother because...
Have you done it?
Oh, sure. But my mother's really foxy. She's the Pamela Anderson of Long Island.
A bad girl.
Well...
Has anybody else in the room done it?
Jackie? Did you sleep with Mommy?
I plead the fifth.
Even OJ won't.
Thank you. Yeah, OJ. According to a book, and I swear to you I don't know the name of this because Baba Booey gave me the book, and of course Baba Booey doesn't know the name of the book.
Well, it doesn't have a cover on it?
No. He has like some pages that somebody sent him, and he lost the cover of the book.
Oh.
But it's a book about adoption.
Yeah.
And it says in many times, when a guy meets his biological mother, he has a sexual attraction because now, according to the psychologist, you want to get back inside the womb. So the only way to get back inside the womb is with your weenie.
Oh, stop it.
That's the psychological
thing.
That's what it says right here in this book. Let's meet the man who slept with his mother, Mr. X.
I will say, though, that I met someone who had been separated from his mother early in life and then was reunited with her as a teenager, preteen.
Yes.
And he and his mother slept in the same bed.
Is that right?
And he acknowledged having those urges.
Mr. X, may I call you Mr. X? Sure. There he is, Mr. X. I wanted to put him on the E! Show, but he said, no, I don't want my face on TV. I said I could black it out.
Imagine?
But I said I could black it out.
Yes, we could have a blue dot over your face.
But he said, I don't even want that. He said they'll be able to recognize me through the blue dot. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be nervous, you sexual dynamo.
I can't believe he's smiling. He's happy. He's proud of it.
Well, let's go back now. I assume that when you were an infant, are you nervous or anything?
A little bit.
Because I see sweat dripping out through your T-shirt. Look at that.
It's warm out there. It's nice and cold.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, good. All right, now relax. Take a deep breath. Fan of the show?
Yes.
So you know we're all your friends.
Yes.
You know, you knew that when you had this sexual experience, you had to come to Howard, right?
Uh-huh.
Of course.
How long ago did this happen?
How long ago did this happen?
It hasn't happened for a few years. It was, I'd say it started about 6-7 years ago and went on for 2-3 years off and
good.
on.
Wow. This is a good story.
Well, it went on. Yeah, this wasn't a one-time thing.
Jackie?
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was shocked.
All right. Let's go back now. I assume that when you were an infant, your mother gave you away.
Yes.
Were you at birth adoption?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
About a month after I was born, I was adopted by a family. I was raised kind of normal.
Can you get close to that microphone? I don't want to miss a word of this.
I was raised normal, and...
when you say normal, you had a mom and a dad, and did you have brothers and sisters and stuff?
In trouble, no serious trouble, you know, just...
Did you know you were adopted?
Yes, all the time, and my parents always told me that if I was ever interested in meeting my parents...
Well, take me back. Hold it. We're jumping ahead. We're going a little too fast in the story. Let me slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you were adopted, and at a young age, your parents tell you you're adopted. The issue of your adoption was no big deal. Is that correct?
No.
You never felt funny about it? Did your parents have biological brothers and sisters?
I had one younger sister who was biological.
I see. So after they adopted you, they thought they couldn't have children when they adopted you. And then suddenly, for some reason, this happens a lot, people relaxed, and they were able to have your sister.
That's right.
And did you ever feel that your parents loved your sister a little bit more than you? Now, remember, nobody knows who you are, so...
Sure, that's normal feeling.
Of course.
But no, I always understood on some level that wasn't the case.
But did you notice that they gave her a little bit more attention?
Actually, they probably gave me more attention.
Because they were trying to compensate?
No, because I was obnoxious at times.
I see. You demanded the attention.
Sure.
And did you feel your sister looked like them and you didn't? Were there any of those feelings?
No, actually, I look a little like my adopted mother.
I see. And isn't it true that your family made you sleep outside and that
your
their
theory
sister...
is going awry, Howard.
Right. No, believe me.
He felt okay.
He says that here. He's nervous, that's why. But my theories are always right, Robin. All right, so you grow up as a young man, and I guess you were curious all along, who are my real parents? And
when did it happen that you started to wonder?
All my life I wondered. Although I had a good family and they loved me and I loved them and I felt comfortable with them, they never seemed to understand me.
I see. So in the back of your mind, no matter how hard they tried, let me hear my theory is coming true.
Uh-oh, here we go.
No matter how hard they try, you knew that they did not understand you.
Oh, yeah.
And you felt that perhaps your biological mother would understand you better.
Not necessarily. I was just curious to see how screwed up my biological mother could be with a child like myself.
I see. Were you a troublemaker?
Not serious troublemaker. I was always mischievous, but never got into...
And you felt that perhaps your mother had been mischievous or something, that there was something in your genetics.
Yeah, I just never felt understood.
Face it, you were horny, and you figured, hey, maybe I'll meet a hot chick.
Your mom might be an easy touch.
See, you probably said, hey, I'm not a bad-looking guy. Maybe my mom's hot, too.
Yeah, they say if only your mother can love you, so...
Right, yeah, and then she did.
And she sure did.
All right, so as you're growing up, you're curious about your natural mother, but what about your adopted mother? Was she a hot piece of ass?
No.
No, she's not.
And you never were sexually attracted to her?
No,
right.
Not to her, not to my father.
And what about your uncle? You ever get it on with him or anyone like that? No. Okay.
Your sister?
I had a few cute cousins.
Right. Okay, so, and your sister, obviously, you didn't?
No.
Okay, so you're growing up, and at what point do you say, I want to go meet my biological mother? When did this happen?
Always in the back of my mind, I kind of wanted to do it, but I never took the initiative to do it until finally, when I was close to 20, I decided that I wanted to do it. I asked my adopted mother, my mother, I call her my mother. I asked my mother because I wanted to get her consent. And she called the adoption agency for me, actually.
Yes.
And they gave us my birth mother's name and phone number and asked that we tell her to quit calling and bugging them because she apparently had been bugging the...
So she was looking for you?
Yeah, she had been looking for me for a couple years.
She was looking for you, you were looking for her. Had you ever learned the circumstances by which you had been put up for adoption? Did you know at this point by your adopted mother why you, as a baby, were given away?
I hadn't, no.
They didn't know anything.
Mm-mm.
All right. So
Did
now,
you have a fantasy about it?
Yeah, he was the Prince of England, and his brother was a younger brother,
right, yeah.
wanted to really be the Prince of England, and he knew unless he got rid of him.
Yeah, just all the normal family.
You had fantasies that, like, maybe your mother was Roseanne or somebody famous or
something. I thought maybe my father would be Howard Stern.
Right. I am your father. I didn't want to tell you.
Actually, that was the big surprise.
Right. Now, let me
Could he get closer to the microphone?
Could you actually swallow the microphone? Because there you go.
I don't want to miss a word.
It's not your fault. We have the world's worst microphones. I've been screaming about this for years.
I know.
Yeah, it's awful. You have to be a professional to talk into these microphones. You have to have 20 years of broadcast experience to get any sound out of these things. All right, so now let's get to the good stuff. So you go through all this. It turns out your biological mom really wanted to see you as well.
Yes.
She must have been real horny.
Must have been.
Yeah, right. So she wanted to meet you, and it was arranged that the two of you should meet because you both had called the adoption agency.
That's right.
All right, so it was simple. Now, did you call her on the phone and make an appointment? How did this all work out?
I called her on the phone, and we talked for a few hours and got to know each other and hit it off right away. We had a lot in common, and
she sounded kind of youngish, sounded
Did you find out how you came to be put up for adoption? Was she a young girl in trouble?
Well, yeah, her my biological father, who had died before I had the chance to meet him, he apparently wasn't interested in marrying her, and her parents put pressure on her to put me up for adoption, as well as the adoption agencies.
And where was she from? Like the Midwest or something?
Yeah.
And she was a real young girl, and the guy didn't want to get married, and they had sex in the back of a car or something?
Well, actually, they had been going out for a while, but the guy wasn't ready to get serious yet,
right.
apparently.
And the parents said, hey, put the kid up for adoption.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because what are you going to do with a young kid? Now, how old was she when she conceived you?
She was 19.
19 years old. Now, when you were talking to your mom on the phone, did you get aroused?
No.
Were you having sexual feelings?
Hi, son.
Hi, Mom.
I'm here in just panties and negligee.
What do you mean, Mom?
I'm in black lace panties and negligee. I'm 36, 24, 36. And I'm really hot for you. You really sound really cute.
Hey, Ma, thanks.
Now, had Mom ever been married and had other children?
She had been married once and had no other children. Was divorced.
I didn't want to ruin my perfect body, my flat tummy. You know, son, I'm sitting in the family tree nude right now, and I'm really looking hot.
All right, so you make an appointment with your mother on the phone. You spoke once. I take it she didn't live too far away.
Well, actually, I was living in Philadelphia. She was living up in this area in Westchester.
I see. So you made an appointment to get together. How soon did you decide to get together?
We got together about a week later. She came and visited.
And she came out to Philadelphia to visit you.
And she visited you at your parents' home?
No, I had my own place there.
I see.
I see. Now, did she just knock on the door? She showed up at your door. You gave her your address.
Yeah. Well, she called when she got into town, stayed at a hotel, and
she came over from the hotel.
We went out and.
Tell me what. Well, wait a second. You went over to the hotel to visit her?
She came and picked me up.
She came and picked you up at your home.
Mm-hmm.
And when she came to pick you up, what did your mother look like?
A lot like a female version of myself.
All right, now that ain't turning me on.
Really?
No offense. You're built like a truck.
You in a dress is not an appetizing.
Let me get it straight.
Minus about 75 pounds.
Was your mom hot?
Yeah, but I wasn't looking at that at that time.
Because how old was she at this point? She probably wasn't even that old.
No, she was about 40, 41.
41. That's very young, Robin.
Well, yeah, now.
Now. 41, but was she a youngish 41?
Yeah.
And was she wearing like a hot miniskirt, or what was she wearing?
No, she was just wearing, I think, pants and just normal clothes, a sweater. It was wintertime.
Did she have a nice body?
Yes.
She was really shapely?
Yeah.
Do you know her measurements?
No.
What cup size?
C.
She was a C.
So you learned that later.
Yes, I didn't know that then.
Yeah, but
I just want to know if he noticed that she was really pretty. You were very pleased when you saw her.
Yeah, but I was pleased that she was attractive because I came from her.
Did you feel her up right away, or did you wait? I would have felt her up at the door. Hey, Mom.
I gave her a hug, gave her butt a squeeze.
Now, let me ask you something. Be serious for a second. When you saw her at the door and you gave her a hug and everything, did you have any sexual feelings right away, do you think? No. She was like, hey, this is my mom. Although, when your first impact, you must have been, hey, she's a very attractive woman.
Yes, exactly.
She looked like someone you would even, be attracted to, but she's your mom.
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
But you were still a stranger.
Right.
Exactly.
So, nothing wrong, no harm, no foul. All right, so anyway, you go to the hotel, I guess you go out for dinner or something?
Yeah, we went out for dinner, and
the whole time at dinner, were you noticing more and more that she was attractive?
No, it didn't happen right away.
No boners at dinner or anything?
No.
You were just talking about, what were you talking about? What, the circumstances of your birth and what your life had been like and all of this?
Exactly. After that, I came to visit her in Westchester and visited for a couple weeks, and we talked pretty much.
So you started to get to know each other more and more.
You're getting closer and closer.
And did you feel she understood you?
Yeah. at that time.
It was odd that she really understood you. And let me ask you something. On the occasion that you would go to Westchester and visit her,
what was she dressed in when she came to the
Yeah, like, did you notice that she was maybe dressing a little better? I mean, was there any kind of attraction starting to build between the two of you?
No, it didn't. It didn't really happen like that.
She didn't have a boyfriend?
Mm-mm.
No, okay, yeah, go ahead.
And she wasn't trying to dress provocatively? You didn't notice anything like that?
No, although we were doing a lot of touching, like hugs, and she liked to kiss me a lot. On the cheek. On the face, yeah.
Right, as a mother would kiss a child.
Exactly.
According to this book, it says that goes on. They want to get that intimacy going. They want to touch. And did you kiss goodbye each time and all that kind of stuff?
Exactly.
Okay, now.
But never on the lips.
Well, yes, on the lips.
On the lips you would kiss each other goodbye. But you never felt that there was seduction going on from your mother, did you?
No.
You didn't feel she was dressing provocatively or letting you see her in a bathing suit or anything like that?
Her hands didn't linger or travel or anything like that?
No, not at first.
Was your mom hot? I mean, was she like a 10 or was she a 7? What the hell? Give me a number.
8, 9.
She's an 8 or a 9? Really that good,
For a mom or for people?
No, for a woman.
For a babe.
She's attractive.
I mean, like she could wear a thong on the beach?
Maybe not these days, but...
Maybe a bikini?
Maybe she should stick with the one piece.
Really?
But she looks very good in it.
Attractive in a one piece.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Wow. So the times that you slept over and
stuff... Can you imagine your son evaluating your body?
Why not? I evaluated my mom's body.
No, not with his knowledge, Howard.
All right, so let me get this straight. So as you know, because really you're a full-grown guy, she's a woman. As far as you're concerned, yeah, she's my biological mom, but hey, she's just a babe as far as you're concerned.
Well, when does it happen?
Well, hold everything.
When does
change? Wait a second. Now, when you would sleep over the house and everything, did you ever see her in her bra and panties?
No. Not at first.
You never catch a glimpse of her walking around, like out of the shower or anything, coming out of a towel, that kind of thing?
No, she would always go in her room, close the door.
She didn't call you in to zip up her dress or anything like that?
No.
And when did you begin to have sexual feelings toward your mother? Did she make the first move or did you?
Well, she did.
She made the first move.
That's what I was getting the impression of, that she was the aggressor.
Now, you wouldn't have considered ever putting a move on her unless she did it first.
No.
You had never even up until that point had sexual feelings for her.
I did think, as it got closer to that time when things started, I had thought a little bit about it.
Why? Because she was getting more and more physical?
Exactly.
When she kissed you on the lips, perhaps she lingered a little bit longer?
Exactly.
Perhaps you found an arousal in your pants every once in a while, even though you didn't want to have one? Is that correct?
Sure.
And what was she doing that was getting you more and more excited?
I guess we were just spending a lot of time.
Rubbing your arm, maybe?
Sure. Rub my neck.
Let me ask a question.
Rub your neck, give you a massage?
Mm-hmm.
When you came into the house and you were, you'd sit and talk, where was she and where were you? Did she sit right next to you?
It got to that point.
Uh-huh.
Was she real lonely?
She has friends. I mean, as far as being lonely,
Did she start to realize you had arousals?
Not at first, but we became totally obsessed with each other. Spent,
You wanted to see each other.
18 hours a day.
You were getting so close, and at those points, when you started spending 18 hours a day, you started to have some sexual feelings, didn't you?
After several weeks.
After several weeks. Because it was back
you
rubs.
You were doing it, though, because it was Mom.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you feel guilty that you were having some sexual feelings?
Not totally. I kind of felt, I just blew him off and thought that that's no big deal. It's normal. I'm an adult.
Yeah, he had never been with a real mother before.
Yeah. Maybe everybody's real mother, you have feelings like that.
Yeah.
All right.
I like other people's mothers.
Now, obviously, there came a day after 18 hours of time together each time you visited, and back rubs and massages, but all the time your mother was dressed very conservatively,
and all
right?
the time alone, and all the time in these secluded places.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, there are guys with girlfriends that want to see them 18 hours a day, so this is getting intense. And then something happened to break the ice. Let me take a break here.
Oh, boy. You know how to drag it out.
Hey, come on. This is a long way from my first radio show. Wow. We'll learn what happened.
What changed in this mother-son relationship?
Yes.
That tipped it over the edge.
And we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:37 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter.
Back with The Howard Stern Show.
We got a fan of the show here who humped his mother. And it's pretty good.
It isn't as bad as it sounds. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's worse. Humped was putting it mildly. But it's cool because, hey, I was thinking about it in the bathroom.
Oh, you were? Were you having a good time?
Like you say your mom, your biological mom, was a 9 or a 10. 8
or 9.
8 or a 9 even for a guy. Now that does, that's his 8 or 9. That's his standard.
Yes.
If I went and I was an adopted guy, and by the way, all adopted kids, most of them end up looking for their parents because most of them feel like something better is going to happen to them.
Well,
the kids stand
it's
their
exactly
parents.
what he said. He doesn't realize that you felt that your parents never understood you.
Yeah,
and
but
they were biological.
Yeah, in fact, give me the number of your biological mother because I'd like to get an adoptive mother. I'd like to date your mom. But anyway, here's the point. If I went on a hunt, and I'm being honest now, Robin, you're going to think this is wrong, but if I went on a hunt for my biological mother, and Pamela Anderson opened the door, that to me is a 9 or a 10.
Mm-hmm. Look out. I think Pamela Anderson's a 10 or an 11.
And she wanted to do me? I'm there.
Oh, stop it, Howard.
I'm
you
there.
are a moral person.
No, I'm not.
I don't know this about you.
Nothing wrong with it.
But you
It
have
happens.
very deep morals, and you would never do that.
She was good. Let me ask you something, Fred. If your mother was Pamela Anderson, literally Pamela Anderson, would you do her? And you didn't know? Yeah,
No,
you didn't know her. You were
wouldn't.
totally detached from her. Of course you would.
Robin,
Fred couldn't even look at his own mother's breast. I think there's something going on there.
No, he grew up with her.
It's a different situation.
But
Billy,
remember,
what would you do?
couldn't look at her breast.
Don't forget, you don't have a penis.
Just did.
It's different. He doesn't know her. Hey, Billy, would you? Pam Anderson.
That's my mother.
That's right.
Mommy.
Would you do her? Seriously, I'm asking you. You to think about it.
You wouldn't tell anybody, would you?
No.
No,
would
of
you
course
do it?
I would.
Jackie.
All right, wait a minute.
Would you?
If the opportunity presented itself at all, sure.
Right. You wouldn't force the issue.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't walk in there.
You wouldn't feel guilty.
No. Why? Yeah, you deal with it later.
Yeah. Why would you feel
After I orgasmed, I'll deal
You
with
know
that.
what?
A man with needs.
And all of you.
Let's get back to
Are
Mr.
cheers.
X. Let's get back to Mr. X. Now, Mr. X, you're at the house. You've been making visits to your mommy for a while now.
18-hour visit.
18 hours, sleeping over, I assume, as well. And everyone says, hey, that's okay. It's his mom.
And we were catching up on old times. I wasn't trying to replace my parents.
Right.
Just was
Did
looking
your parents
at where I came
understand?
from.
Yeah, they understood.
Yeah, they understood and were supportive of it.
Okay, so now you're going over there, and one day things changed. I mean, as things were going along, there was a gradual build-up. She became more physical with you. She massaged you. Did you massage her at times?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you guys must have been like in masseuse class.
So now when you're touching her, you're getting excited.
Starting to.
Yeah.
And
when
you
you
don't know I should stop?
You would massage her over the clothes?
Yeah, and I never tried to...
Go any further?
Yeah, in fact, I would stop because I didn't want to. I definitely wouldn't put the moves on or try anything.
Before the commercials, we had gotten to this point. Now, tell me, when did things start to change? I mean, when did they start to get a little more physical with your mom?
I have to ask one other question before we get there. Was she dating at all?
No.
Okay.
What did you call her? Did you call her mom? Or did you call her by her first
I
name?
was calling her by her first name mostly.
Okay. Baby. Baby cake.
Honey bun.
Sweet cheeks.
Pumpkin.
All right.
That came later.
My love machine.
Punkin.
Sugar pants.
Candy pants. Candy pants.
Did you ever... okay, so you called her mom or by her first name? First name.
First name.
Okay. And her first name, ironically, was Sweet Pea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then you start talking to her in her first name. Okay. Now, when did it start to really get into high gear?
After we had known each other for several months, it was at least 6 months.
Right.
The kisses started to become a little sexual.
Right.
And then one day...
And describe it. Like, mom would lean over and give you a kiss goodbye, but then it would be, like, lingering. And
exactly.
a little... would
or
not tongue.
Some,
Not yet, but then eventually it got to the point where I think we were both opening our mouths a little bit.
Right.
And she asked me if I wanted to kiss her passionately, and I said, yeah.
Yeah,
and
because she was so hot.
And she said...
And she asked me if I wanted to, and I said yeah, and so we did.
And then you started to really start tonguing and stuff. Now, was there any discussion that this might be wrong, or there was no guilt involved?
Well, we did it the one time, and we thought, well, that'll be it. Now we got it out of our system.
Right.
Oh, so obviously she was feeling some sexual tension, too.
Right.
Yes.
All right, so, hey, let's get it out of our system. Let's tongue each other. What?
When you say you did it the first time, you mean you soul kissed the first time or made love the first time?
soul kiss. We're not getting to the love yet.
They just made... You didn't go... How would you say? You petted, you necked, you what?
No. All they did was tongue kiss, and they said, let's kiss passionately. That's it. Okay.
You sure?
Yes.
That's right.
You didn't grope her at all?
No.
All right.
All right. Then what's the next step?
I guess few weeks later.
Now, had you continued to kiss passionately every time you kissed goodbye?
Actually, I didn't see her for a while.
Okay.
And then when I saw her
Did you have
again,
confused feelings after that happened?
Yes.
Yes. All right, but hell with it. She's hot.
Did you talk to anybody about it?
At the time, no. I felt a little guilty, and then I thought, well, I'll get over it, and we'll just go on with the relationship.
And did you go home that night and take care of yourself? Were you aroused? No? Somebody? Come on, be honest.
I was aroused. No, I don't think that.
Oh, come on.
Well, no, I was staying at her house. I wouldn't have had the privacy.
What do you mean? Didn't you have your own room?
Right next to her. She'd probably heard me if I had got
So you get a couple of tissues and you slip into the room.
He was making
I can't do
noise,
it that quietly.
Be quiet like a jackrabbit.
No, I can't do that. I have to cut loose.
Let me ask something, though. When you were doing that, did her face came up?
Yeah, whenever you would get a chance to, pleasure yourself, which I'm sure you do, all guys do.
Yeah, actually, I started thinking about her.
You started to think about her.
Ooh.
Okay, now cool. Now,
and apparently she was thinking about me also.
All right, let me get this straight. So, really? She told you when she would have her vibrator, she would think about you?
Well, she didn't have one. She used to do it freehand.
No kidding.
I was going to say that, O.J.
Our own Robin can do that, too, so don't think your mom's so special. Right? You've done that many a time.
Robin, will you be my mommy?
It's in her book, she did.
Oh, stop it. No, it's just hand.
And one part of the book, in your early episodes...
I don't say anything about being freehand.
Never? You were, though. What?
You always use a device?
At first, you always had a device?
I didn't have to use hands.
When you first started doing that, when you went into the frenzy, did you first use your hand?
No.
You always used a vibrator?
Yes. Not a vibrator, no. I didn't have a vibrator.
A hairbrush?
A hairbrush.
What did you use? Your foot? What did you use?
Zucchini? I had a certain technique.
With what? What did you use?
I didn't have to use anything.
Oh, you're a superwoman. Now, did your mother ever jog on your face? All right, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
What you're Robin, come on. Right. She's using her technique as we are on the air. This is his story now.
Does this sound like your mother?
Wait, I'm bonding with this guy. Okay, so now you've thought about your mother, she thought about you, all this kind of stuff is going on, and you hadn't seen her in a while after this French kiss. Everything was kind of weird. Did you speak to each other on the phone during that period?
Yeah, just about every day.
Did you address the French kiss?
A little bit.
Okay, and he said, hey, how did you address it?
We agreed to just let it go, and that was a thing that we just both needed to do.
Oh, great. Friends. All right, so you get...
Hey, come on, it's a mom.
Oh. So then you agree to see each other again?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happens?
Well,
where are you, at her place?
And it took I went to visit, it took a couple days, and then we...
Who would call mostly? Your mom would call you?
We both called each other.
Right. And
you
mostly
said they were obsessed with each other.
And mostly you would go visit her?
Yes.
Yeah, because her place is probably a little nicer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. She had some dough and she had a nice... Yeah, okay, go ahead. So you go over there, and you go over after the French kiss. It's a month later. What happens?
Well, it took a couple of days, and then we found ourselves kissing again.
Right. Couldn't keep your hands off each other. And not only kissing, but perhaps the hands started to roam?
Yes.
All right, now what happened, pal? What was your mom wearing that day?
I think one evening she was wearing a button-down shirt.
Oh, she was ready.
So she was being very seductive, wasn't she?
I don't think she was trying to. I think we were both trying not to, but...
Was she wearing a dress or pants?
Pants.
Pants?
Yeah.
Tight chinos?
No, not especially.
Whose hands roamed first? You started kissing. You said, how did the kiss start again? Like, you just all of a sudden you said, hey, let's kiss?
Yeah, well, we'd hug, and then we started kissing also.
Right. And the kiss started again, and then what happened? Did her hands start to roam?
I think both of our hands a little bit started to roam, and then she took my hand and put it on her breast.
Oh. Whoa! She's good. All right, listen, we got to take a break.
Yeah, I got to just refer people to a movie.
Yeah.
If they are interested in this sort of thing. There's a movie called Spanking the Monkey.
Is it good? I heard about that.
It is interesting. I don't know whether you call it good.
But it deals in this theme?
It deals with this theme, yes.
Man, you hit the family sex lottery. All right, now.
Do your parents know about this?
Yes, they do now.
Oh, my.
All right, the hand is on the chest. The hand has made it to the chest. She's a C cup now. We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle.
7:54 at the Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle. It's 8 o'clock at 97.1 The Eagle.
Howard Stern all morning. Pure rock all day. Yeah. 97.1 The Eagle. Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
Got a guy here who diddled his mom. And he's our top guest for the day.
Well, that's bottom lining it.
Yeah. Let's get right to the point here. Now, while we were in commercial, we, of course, did not communicate, did we, Mr.
You
X?
don't talk about the subject during commercials, huh?
Right. No, we don't.
A question occurred to me just, sitting here contemplating this whole subject. I'm just wondering, do you think this will encourage or discourage people from looking for their biological parents?
Robin, that's a good question. As a matter of fact, during the commercials, I was on the phone looking for my biological mother. I am sure that I was adopted. No, of course, this is unbelievable.
You think people will actually... my goodness.
This is a whole new thing, having sex with your biological mother. So who brings the rubbers to the family reunion?
Nobody.
I see. Okay, you used a rubber with your mother.
You weren't safe with your mother?
Really? You didn't? Really?
You don't do that with your mother, I suppose. Who knows what you're supposed to do with your mother?
Well, we're finding out, aren't we? All right. And while you were having sex, did you yell, Mommy?
No.
No, okay, all right, listen.
You sure?
Oh, Mom.
Not at first.
Oh, Mommy. Oh.
And she's so sunny.
All right. Wee-oh, Mommy.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
There's a lot of questions to be answered. Okay, so now, after months, we've worked our story through 2 commercial breaks. Oh, the ratings. I
tell you, nobody can tune out.
Mr. X, you say your hand moved onto her chest.
Well, she put it there.
And now it was going to go a little bit further, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was the signal, wouldn't you say?
I'd say.
There was enough pussyfooting around. It was time to get down to business.
Funny you should say
it took actually...
Yes.
It took actually
Let me smell your
a couple days.
All right. Okay. Listen.
Oh, so you guys really stretched it out.
This is a romance.
Oh,
we really resisted.
So after you touched her chest, you guys kind of stopped and you went, oh, my God, this is wrong or something?
No.
What happened next?
Did
you take off any clothes?
No, we kept it at that. Actually, she opened her shirt, and then we kept it at that.
But she was wearing a bra, I take it.
Well, she opened that, too.
She opened her bra as well. All right, so let me get this straight. You made out a little bit. Your mom's a hell of a gal. No wonder she gave you away. She's gonna date if you were around.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So wait a second. You made out. She opens up her shirt, takes off her bra, and you put your hand on, on her nanny goes. Okay. Oh, man. And she's plentiful. She has a C cup.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't believe it, right? Because you didn't realize it up until then.
No, I realized it.
You did.
But I didn't...
Well, do you have like a good voice and a bad voice in your head having an argument about what you're doing?
No, I don't even listen to any of that.
Right. It's going on, but he ignores it. Hey, good man. That's how we are.
You're a guy.
So, oh, man. It's crowded in my pants. Hey, who does your mom look like? Name a celebrity that she might look like. Give me some indication, because I got to get worked up.
Jed Barrymore.
Oh, you want his mom, too.
I don't even know, because I'm not too big on celebrity.
Well, you know what I mean. She must have looked like somebody.
I couldn't tell.
Dark hair, blonde?
She's blonde.
About how tall?
About 5'3", 5'4".
Kind of petite?
Yeah.
Real thin, big chest?
Not real thin. Not fat, but, kind of medium build.
Kind of nice.
Yeah.
And Demi Moore does she look like? Who does she look like?
Demi Moore as a blonde?
I don't know. Well, she doesn't look like Demi Moore. I'm not...
Farrah Fawcett Minors?
No, nothing like that.
Come on. Now, at this point in her career, I'm going that far.
Meg Ryan?
So, Meg Ryan, maybe?
No.
How about Donna Douglas from the Beverly Hillbillies?
Donna Douglas from the Beverly Hillbillies?
No.
Irene Ryan.
Irene Ryan from the Beverly Hillbillies? Anyone? Who? Granny? I don't know. Anyone.
I can't think of anybody.
Somebody. Anyone from the Addams Family?
One of the Golden Girls?
Sally Struthers when she looked good?
A little like me in the face.
No, come on. Dude, you're a guy. I don't want to think about you.
Just imagining you in long hair and a dress.
That ain't doing it. A little like me in the face.
Attractive.
Dude, I'm working on crowding up my pants, will you? You don't a little like me in the face. Well, you're not bad as a girl, I guess. I really shaved you down.
No, maybe that's what he should have been thinking of when he was going after his mother.
I
You look
know.
a little like me in the face.
You in a dress is a mercy F. All right, so let me get this straight. All of a sudden, it goes that far. So there's some fondling and kissing, and then what happens? You both go, let's stop?
Well, we didn't go any further. We just kept it at that. And actually, I was pretty satisfied at that.
Right, it was enough at that point. You had gone a little further.
Oh yeah, it blown my mind.
And did the two of you talk afterwards, or you just went back to your room to go to sleep?
No, we talked.
And what did you say? Hey, we went further.
Boy, that was good.
Like, what do you say?
Basically.
Is that what you say? Like, boy, that was pretty good, and like, what are we going to do?
We talked about it and talked about if it was right or not. And
what did she say?
There was an argument?
How could something so good be so wrong?
Yeah, Mom, don't be a CT, Mom.
Well, we were talking about actually getting into some kind of therapy, and
yeah.
Oh boy.
So like it was. Imagine you're a psychiatrist just out of school, and this couple walks in. Well, how long have you two been married? No, that's my mom. Okay, I'm out of here. You dudes need Valium and Xanax.
Yeah.
You need a combo.
To be hosed down.
You need rocket fuel. All right, so wait a second. So we talked about counseling, and you said, nah, that'd be too embarrassing, right?
No, actually, we decided that we should get involved in it, but we didn't really spend that much time talking about it. We just kind of
You never did go to counseling, though,
right.
did you?
Oh, no, actually, we did. And
but not yet?
No, not yet.
Was her shirt open while you were having this discussion? Like, was her top off?
No.
Right.
No.
She'd button back up?
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, I can't
Now
believe
she turned back into mom.
I can't believe you didn't go all the way, but I guess you felt some guilt, and you just said, hey, screw it, let's stop.
Actually, I think that was a large part of both of our obsessions at first, the breastfeeding.
Right.
What?
So wait a second. So did you have any girlfriends up until this point? Were you having a hard time getting girls?
No.
No, you had
actually, the hard time with girls came after that.
Okay. All right. Now let's get this straight.
All right, wait a minute. He said something here.
Did you guys get into baby stuff like role playing? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Like where you suckled
but the
her?
breastfeeding thing had come up.
No role playing. But I was pretty much obsessed with
breasts.
Yeah.
And whether she had breastfed you at all?
Well, she hadn't. Not until that point.
Right. Okay. So now, how many days do we wait before we go into sex again?
A couple days.
A couple of days, but you were staying over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you used to stay over weeks at a time. I guess you didn't work at that point.
At that point, no.
Right. So you were just hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So now, what are you doing in the 2 or 3 days between?
Yeah, I can imagine. What are you doing? Yeah. Like just hanging out and going to parks and stuff?
Well, she was working at that point also, so we didn't have all day.
So at night she'd come home and make dinner and like...
Yeah, and we'd go out and do things and go hear music or comedy or something.
Right, you had a lot of
You
interest.
were dating.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Then what happened? How'd you get to the next stage with your mom?
Eventually, it was only a few days. Things went a little further.
All right, so what happened? You were sitting on the couch and where? In the living room?
Actually, I think it happened in the kitchen.
All right, you're in the kitchen, and what was going on? Were you making dinner? And Jackie, ease up. Jackie, just unloosen your pants.
Boss, I need a few days off. I'll explain later. My mom. Oh, is he so hot? Oh. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah.
He now knows what to get.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, put the stupid puppet down.
Boy, are you going to be pleased.
You're distracting Mr. X. He's getting a puppet. Mommy. All right. So now you're in the kitchen, and what are you guys doing? Like making dinner or breakfast? Or what's going on?
She's making me waffles in the nude.
What was she wearing for breakfast that day?
Actually, no, this was later on in the day. This was after work.
After work, dinner?
And, I don't even remember, actually. I think it was after dinner.
Right.
And we just started.
What was she wearing?
I don't know.
Pants?
Pants, yeah.
And a shirt?
Unless
Doesn't your mom ever change?
No, she's same pants,
Were you
same
just
shirt.
looking through her clothes at this point?
Pretty much.
So now you're really worked up over her, right? It's like you got to have her.
Uh-huh.
All right, so what happens in the kitchen?
Well, we started into kissing and getting into the same thing, making
Shirt
out.
came off.
Or open.
And
open.
it gets easier and easier each time.
Who unlatches the bra? You do or your mom?
Mom.
Group effort. So who took off?
I'm not used to that.
All right, who took off your bra? I mean, who took off her bra?
It might have been. I don't remember.
Okay.
It was a group effort.
All right, and the bra comes off, and they're lovely, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
beauties.
now you're in a frenzy.
They're beauties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, real set. C cups. And she's a small girl, so those cups look almost like a D.
That's right.
Oh, oofa. And then
where do we go from here?
And you're making out, and there's some more petting and stuff, and then things progress.
Yes.
What happens next? She takes her pants off?
No, actually, she took mine off.
She just all of a sudden unbuckled your pants and took your pants down?
After a little bit of rubbing.
All right.
So Mom went for it, huh?
Mom went for it.
Rub me! I want to get rubbed for breakfast.
All right. So that's the number one move in the world for a guy. When those pants come down, you're like out of your mind, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
you
no
wear
turning
underwear?
back at that point, yeah.
Okay. So then she sees you. No, well, okay, she takes off your pants, and then what happens?
She took them down and
then took your underwear off?
Pulled it all down, yeah.
So she's seeing you for the first time, her boy.
Mm-hmm.
In all his glory.
Yep.
And does she comment?
It's just like his father.
Oh, baby boo!
Are you a large man?
Average, I guess.
Average?
I did not know what average
did your mom go like, wow, son, you like me. You really like me.
Yeah, she wasn't talking too much.
Right. She didn't talk too much, and then she took care of you.
Exactly.
I see.
Can you imagine?
And I'm sure that didn't take long.
No.
All right, so you two didn't have actual deep, hardcore sex. She did her thing on you.
Yes, at that point.
Very good. Now after that...
And at this point, you don't have any question in your mind, this is wrong.
Oh, he had a lot of questions. But the questions were not clear.
I had no question.
Reply hazy.
This is what I was going for.
Right. And she satisfied you to fullness?
Uh-huh.
I see. And then you were done.
And
no, then you went into the bedroom?
Exactly. Questions.
Hold on a second. Then you went into the bedroom.
Yes.
And she finished undressing, or you undressed her?
I think we undressed each other.
You undressed each other, and for the first time you see your mother nude.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ.
But wait a minute, backing up to the previous kitchen encounter.
Go ahead.
What is the etiquette for Mom at...
I don't know that there is etiquette, but go ahead, yeah.
At the time of...
When you're done.
Yeah.
Well, like any good mom, she helps you clean up.
According to Miss Manners.
Yeah. Let me check the book. Hold on. Yeah, Mom helps you clean up. Although at your age, Mom should let you clean up yourself.
I know what Robin's asking, so you...
But not yet.
No, I know what Robin's asking is your mom... let me see if I can figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know how to word it. Very delicate.
Would you say your mother had a full feeling after this experience?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Wow. Jesus, Joseph.
Jesus, Joseph.
So out of all the women you had dated at this point, I take it you were not a virgin. Out of all the women you had dated, was this the best sex ever so far?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because your mom really loves you.
She's good.
All right. Right, OJ. OJ, you stay out of this. You're in enough trouble. All right. They looked inside the glove, and guess what? Your DNA is there. All right.
You got your own problem.
Yeah. All right. So, now you go into the bedroom, and your mommy is there, and she disrobes, and she's hot.
Uh-huh.
And she's shaved and everything.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And there's no talking.
There's no talking at this point. There's no discussion.
We were talking. We weren't that wild. Actually, at that point, I think we were obsessed with the idea of fulfilling something that we both were feeling.
You both wanted it. There was no stopping at this point.
We were trying to justify it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We were trying to justify it as not being a sexual thing, like you were talking about.
Right, getting back into the womb, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that's what she was telling me. Anyway.
Yeah, well, good luck.
You were listening to anything.
Yeah, nice try. I want you back in my womb, son. Well, you know what it is. She didn't relate to you as a son anymore. She just saw you as another man. And because she hadn't raised you, and you saw her as a hot chick.
We met as two adults.
And the idea that she was your mother was so far removed that you were able to take that plunge.
You already had a mommy.
For example, your adoptive mother, you would never even consider having sex with.
No, my adoptive parents are my parents. So.
What's the furthest space you ever got with your adoptive mother?
Just kiss.
Just kissing? Yeah. Well, no light petting?
No tongue.
I see. All right. Okay. Then you're in the bedroom, she undresses, and the two of you embrace and actually make love.
Yeah, and it was very quick. But very quick, though.
Very quick. After the first thing in the kitchen, it was quick?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Actually, the first couple times it was very quick.
Well, hey, join the club.
Mom wasn't very satisfied.
Son was just like Dad.
She said she was, but probably not.
Probably not. And did you do certain things to her that a man does when a woman isn't satisfied?
Not at first, because, again, it wasn't a sexual thing at first.
Right.
Despite the obvious.
I see.
But
you were just trying to get back in the womb, and obviously...
He was trying in every way he knew, Howard.
Your travels were very short and few.
That's right.
Okay.
Actually, though,
how many times did you and Mommy make love?
Oh, countless.
Okay.
Now, there was no attempted birth control whatsoever.
Other than the regular pull-out method.
Really? So you could have gotten your mom pregnant? Now, that would have been fun.
Oh, my God.
Counting days.
Counting
you
days.
were doing the rhythm method.
Oh, you were counting days. All right. Well, you must be Catholic. All right. Very good.
A good Catholic.
Right. Now, when you realized you couldn't get into the womb, did you ever try to get into the womb from the back? No.
Did you try another entrance?
Every entrance was tried into the womb. Well, it says in this book about adoption, men try to get back in the womb who were adopted. And obviously,
I don't know who wrote that book.
Professor Wences. All right, see.
Before we go on, one thing that I should mention also, other than our physical attraction of her being very attractive and her attraction to me,
yes,
there's also something between, I guess, parent and child and siblings when they meet as adults that...
Evidently,
there's a closeness, but you don't understand what it is.
Well, even when it comes down to
brother and sister,
our movements, our smell, taste, that type of thing is unequaled by any other lover.
So it was intense.
Yes, very much.
I need my mother right now.
Well, you know what he's saying?
He's saying that mothers make...
No, he's saying he's never going to have it this good again.
Right. Well, you might find a woman you love.
No, but nobody can equal, he's saying.
Yeah. Well,
Mom. Unless you had a sister for him.
I know. Yeah, you got any sisters?
My aunt's married.
I see. And you, wouldn't it be great if now, he unbeknownst to him, he had gotten his mother pregnant. She gives birth to a daughter. 20 years from now, he meets his daughter, and they fall in love.
You know, this is as good as it was with Mom.
His kids would have, like, crossed eyes, webbed feet.
Kidding? They look like pretzels.
Yeah. Your kids would have DNA squared. Your DNA would just be a mess. Like, if they ever got you on murder charges, they'd look through the DNA thing and go, I don't know, I can't make heads or tails.
We don't even know if this is human.
Yeah, this might not be right.
Lego place.
All right, but as far as you know, you didn't get your mother pregnant.
No.
So let me, I'm not going to drag this out anymore, although I could. You, let me take you through it. So the two of you began a lover's spree that lasted what? For how long?
Off and on a couple years.
Couple of years. You became lovers. It became more intense.
Mostly off, but...
And sometimes on, and...
But what he's saying is that whenever they would visit, it would become sexual.
Right.
At first, for the first year, yes, and then after that, then it was just occasional.
Right. No phone sex?
Just talking.
Just talking and talking erotically?
Not too much, no.
I see. And at what point did your adoptive parents find out that you were making it with your mom?
Well, they didn't find out while it was going on. I kind of got a little screwed up in the head over the whole situation and got into therapy.
Is this how it fell apart? You finally said, hey, I shouldn't be making love to my mother?
Or you couldn't make love to anybody else?
Or did she break up with you, your mother?
She broke up with me.
She did. She
your
broke
mother
it off.
dumped you?
She dumped me.
Again.
Oh, man. She dumped you as a lover or just as a total? She just didn't want you in her life?
She dumped me as a lover.
As a lover, but she still wanted to see you.
A son.
Well, we don't talk a whole lot now.
Right. Then did you tell her, hey, I need you, I want you, Mommy, I need to have you as my lover? You were in love with her.
I was in love with her, but we both knew that it couldn't go on.
And what do you think happened? At one point you just said, hey, this guy, he ain't that good in bed, or what?
No, she started feeling guilty.
She did.
And
it's about time.
Started bothering her.
No, great, yeah. After 3 good years of sex, you feel guilty now?
All of a sudden, the light bulb comes on.
Son, I just want to be friends. Hey, Dad, were you telling any friends during this that this was going on?
No.
You didn't tell your friends. You didn't tell a soul. And because you knew it was wrong, no one would understand.
Exactly.
In the cold light of day.
So even to this day, now through therapy, you went to the therapist. Now, did the therapist's head explode when you told him the story? You go, wait a second.
No, actually, I got into, I saw a therapist that deals with these types of cases between
now, how do you find
parents
him?
and children. And
Yellow Pages, Robin. How'd you find the therapist?
Through she found him, actually. Because we first got into therapy together.
Right.
And then eventually.
And when you showed up together and told the guy the story, was he like...
Were you holding hands?
Yeah.
No.
He said, let me see you guys make out. I would love to. Yeah. Lie on the couch and get this robe. He probably said, hey, this is a loose woman. She makes it with her son. I could probably get her. Was it a guy?
No, it was a woman.
Oh, a woman. Was she hot?
No.
Oh, too bad. Because she could go out, you guys could double date. She could date your cousin, and you could go out with your mother.
Or you could have a threesome.
Yeah, right. You, your mom, and the therapist. Did you get into anything kinky with your mom? Like,
No.
No? It's pretty regular?
Yeah.
No lesbian stuff? No spankings?
No.
How about any different kinds of positions or anything?
Oh, yeah, we did all the regular stuff.
Your mom's pretty limber?
Fairly.
Yeah, get her knees up over her head?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, boy.
Super. Hey, Mom.
Mommy position.
Did you get into, like, her diapering you or anything?
No.
No? Oh, man. Your mom's limber, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Jeez.
Not like my wife with that condomilatia of the knee, huh? Get up on all fours, huh?
Oh, yeah.
She never
super.
complained about positions.
Super. Mommy.
Let it go, son.
Let it go, baby. Did she talk dirty to you in bed?
A little bit.
And what she call, like, would she say, oh, son?
No.
Would you ever call it mommy?
No, we,
Did you ever call her mom in bed? Like, just to freak her out?
Yeah.
Oh, Mom.
More kidding around.
Right.
But, did you talk dirty to
joke.
her?
Yeah, would you be like, oh.
Give it to me, Mom.
Well, yeah, we got pretty into it.
He's like, come on, Mom, I need it now.
Well, not exactly like that, but we got into it.
Like, what would you say?
Oh.
Oh, Mommy. She'd be like, son, welcome home. Yeah.
Still not at the womb.
Born again.
Yeah, who needs dad? I got my boy. Now let's do some chores.
My boy Bill.
Oh,
Younger and better.
Younger and better, man. Just like his father. So okay, so when it ended, you were pretty
wait a minute,
destroyed.
they're in the therapist's office.
Yeah, the therapist head explodes. And the therapist
Did
is
the
like...
therapist spit out the coffee, or...
No, the
They
therapist had
weren't
heard
shocked.
this before,
Yeah,
obviously.
They weren't
Yeah,
shocked.
she wasn't shocked.
Hey, by the way, Sybil's on the phone with her condolences. So you were real screwed up in the head because you wanted her still. You wanted a relationship with her, but the therapist had to convince you this was going nowhere.
Well, I knew that,
Yeah.
and I was torn myself. That's when I started listening to those voices in my head.
Right.
I want it, but it can't continue.
But you would have continued if your mom continued.
Yeah. Continuing on the temporary basis.
Would your mom dress up in outfits and stuff for you, like sexy outfits,
No.
lingerie,
No.
high
They
heels?
always pretended that it wasn't for sex.
Right.
No, that's not true. That was just
No,
at the
I'm just
beginning.
saying you didn't go over there thinking I'm going to get it.
Oh, eventually I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Oh, you dirty boy.
Ever go out with her, like on dates, so you can hold her hand and make out with her in public?
We'd go out on dates, but we wouldn't do anything in public for
So did
fear
the
that
therapist?
somebody could see us.
I see. Did the therapist tell you now that you had to tell your adoptive parents and let them know what happened?
No, the reason I told them is because I became...
You want to eat their heart out.
Drive them crazy.
Come on, those bastards, they didn't give birth to you. They loved your sister better.
Hey, your mom didn't love you as much as your mom did.
Hey, here's your thanks for taking me in when no one wanted me. Do you guys hold hands in therapy? Did you like
no.
from the doctor? No, that would have been cool. I need to hold my mother.
Play tiddly with her.
Yeah. Heavy emphasis on the tiddly. All right, yeah, so you, she's good. You're damn right she's good.
So now how do you go about telling your parents?
Well, I became pretty screwed up in the head, and I really didn't date anybody else, and was in therapy, and my parents wanted to know what was wrong with me.
Right.
So
all right, I got a good one for you.
Eventually,
Son, are you on drugs? No, much better than that.
Yeah, Mom, you wish I was on drugs.
And did your mom freak? Was she like, oh, my God?
Kind of.
She was probably glad because, in a way, psychologically, she's saying, hey,
He didn't have to worry.
Yeah, now I know I have my son. He no longer has to look for his biological mother because his biological mother's his girlfriend.
That's right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
In a way,
You
it
could
was...
never take my role.
Did she want to sue your biological mother and all that kind of stuff?
No, she was upset and, of course, blamed everything on her.
Right.
Which is all her fault anyway.
Right. There you go. Smart. Therapy helped you. Wow.
I hate to blow your theory there, but you were 20.
All right. Hey, so when did you see your real mom? Have you seen your real mom since the therapist and all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Right.
We just don't have much of a relationship now. We don't talk a lot. We're not real close.
Right.
It got us real close. We got real close for a while, and then we even got closer, and we figured that would keep us close, but...
Your mom's pretty horny, man. Hey, can I get to your mom?
You want a number?
Yeah, can I have her number?
Sure.
I'd like to call her.
So now you have no desire to see your mom?
No, I still see
You
her.
got to know her.
Talk to her occasionally, but
Yeah.
I think she's more...
She's embarrassed.
It's not embarrassed. She got screwed up more than I did.
Yeah.
Really?
Good.
Good. You showed her for giving you up.
Did she crack up, like going to a mental hospital and stuff?
She probably should have.
Really? That bad, huh? Was she depressed and wanted to kill herself and stuff?
Terrible mood swings.
Really? Cool. It's a cool story. I might option that.
You might do what with it?
I'm going to option that story.
Which means?
No, make it into a movie.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with sex.
Of course.
Okay.
Calm down.
You get to star in it. Of course. Who else would star in such a horrible story? That's
For
great.
casting your mother in the other role.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to play my mom?
Damn it.
Your mom. Pamela Anderson, yeah.
There you go.
There you go. So you've had sex with other women since you've had sex with your mom?
Yeah, but not really. I haven't really dated anybody seriously
Really?
since then.
You think because you're hung up on your mom?
Well, I'm not hung up on her anymore, but
just what happened.
I was for a while, and I was kind of screwed up, but now I'm starting to date a little more.
Now,
actually.
you're going to have to tell your girlfriend. You know, if you get married one of these days, you're going to have to tell her.
Big deal.
Yeah, eventually.
Hey, how many guys have a cool story? You know what? You have bar conversation. You can go into a bar and pick up any girl. Hey, guess what? All those guys who are rapping to you, I got a good one for you. I had sex with my mother. Oh, wow. So you feel that you could meet a woman that she might not ever be as great as your mother, but you might be able to.
You're always going to wonder.
Well,
now,
she might
honey,
be better
is
in
this
some
good?
ways, but there's certain things that
Mom can
she
only
never
do.
replace. Exactly.
Right. Mom has certain smells, certain this and that.
So what would your advice be to others contemplating this?
Make it with your dad. It's quicker and there's less emotional involvement. Go for it.
What would your advice be?
What have you learned?
What have I learned? I don't know.
Hey, you're like me. I would have learned nothing from it.
I guess therapy works.
I'd say, hey, you know what? I'm a guy. I'm horny. And if my mom's hot, I'm going to make it with her.
If I meet another mom, I'll do her too.
Yeah. Hey, anyway, Mr. X, I want to thank you for coming in.
Did you ever meet your grandparents and all that stuff?
Uh-huh.
Is your grandma hot?
No.
You didn't get it on with her or anything?
Does the whole family know?
No. Nobody knows.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Hey, anyway, it was a great story, Mr. X. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And really, any other listeners, let me make this really clear. Mr. X is a big fan of our show. This happened in his life. And at what point did you decide to come in? I mean, you must, during this sexual experience with your mother, you said, hey, Howard would love this.
Well, no, I didn't think about it right during.
Right, but afterwards you knew. And then you worked up the courage and you came in here.
Yeah.
Right. And let me say to our other listeners.
Yeah, because we know there are other stories out there.
And just because you didn't make it with your mom, maybe you made it with your dog.
Or your teacher.
Or your
We'll
teacher.
listen to anything.
Yeah, maybe you ran off with your gym teacher or something. We listen to this kind of stuff. We love it. So I hope, in a way, talking about it on the radio has helped you. It's been cathartic, true?
That's right.
Yeah. You feel better now.
Uh-huh.
You feel a little less demonic. True?
True.
Yeah. So
it must have helped when he found out other guys do this, too.
Yes. What we're trying to do is help millions and millions of people.
Yeah, and you probably just helped someone else out there who's keeping this secret.
I'm trying to start a trend.
Yeah, well, what we got to do is say this stuff at the end so we can be like Geraldo and all these other phony balonies.
In fact, you were starting to do a Jerry Springer
Yeah, that's
where
what I'm doing.
he says something about what really life should be like.
Yeah, because after you spent an hour getting every dirty detail of making it with your mom, then you go, we only had this so we can help people.
No, let us say that true love does not harm.
Right. So let us say that. And thank you, Mr. X, for coming in. And we enjoyed having you in. And if you make it with any other members of your family, please call us.
During.
And we'll be back after these words. Thanks a lot, Mr. X.
We'll return to the Howard Stern Show after these messages. 97.1 The Eagle.
828 at The Eagle. This is Brad Baxter, Eagle.
I want to talk to you about Metrex. Metrex is an incredible product. I don't know if you've heard about it. Maybe, chances are you know someone who's using it. Gary, you're using it, right? Isn't it great?
I like it a lot. You'll explain that they have these shakes that you have in between meals.
Yeah.
And you can flavor them however you want.
Right.
Of course, I'm having chocolate shakes.
Right. Because you love chocolate.
I love chocolate, but there's a variety of ways you can flavor them.
Metrex is arguably the world's most perfect food. It's amazingly rich. You know how we don't know what to eat? We don't know how to get the right amounts of protein and carbohydrate.
Well, everybody's always saying you're supposed to have this amount of this or that. Who can't quantify all of these things?
This stuff tastes great. It's low in fat and calories. It takes the guesswork out of nutrition. And this is about health. This isn't only about losing weight, by the way. And I want to make this clear. When you get this Metrex, this isn't like those diet programs where you starve yourself. Mm-hmm. This is about actually feeding your body nutrition and calories so that your body doesn't hold on to fat.
That's right.
Understand something. When you are starving yourself, your body holds on to fat. Do you know that?
That's right. You trigger a mechanism in which your body thinks it's starving.
Metrex feeds your body. It feeds it the right proteins and carbohydrates, and you have the proper amounts of food, but you have a low-fat diet, and it takes all the guesswork and all the horror out of it, and it's just so simple. And I could give you all kinds of recommendations. It's the only food eaten by 5 people in the Eco Challenges. They travel 370 miles in just 9 days on foot. Why? Because you get all your nutrients, you get all of this energy from it, and it is a whole food.
I've been on it. This is the beginning of my 2nd day. Yesterday was my 1st day, and I wasn't hungry for a second.
Yeah, because you're not dieting.
Right, exactly. I'm eating regular meals.
If you're serious about getting in shape and you need that extra edge, try Metrex. Call 1-800-96-METRX. I'll give you the number again. You'll love it. Try it. Try for a couple of days. 1-800-96-METRX.
It's 8:36 at 97.1 The Eagle.
Call Howard on the Eagles toll-free line, 1-800-54-STERN. Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah. I got to just mention something. That guy who slept with his mom is real good, but I just want to mention this, and maybe you're going to get into it more in the news, but I want to talk about this. We've been wanting to talk about it since 6 o'clock in the morning, but we were busy listening to old tapes of me.
Yeah, we had to listen to you. What do you want to talk about?
By the way, that woman who was the disc jockey, Donna, we'll call her tomorrow on the air.
Oh, great.
We got it all set
I'm
up.
glad we're going to get to talk to her.
Yeah. There's a thing they buried in the newspaper today, and I don't even know if you probably were going to mention it in the news, but
I know what you're going to talk about now.
But it was buried in the newspaper.
Yes, it was hard to find.
Rodney King was busted again. Rodney King, remember the guy who the cops beat up because he was driving drunk, and everyone was complaining about it that the cops did the wrong thing? Well, here we are again. They didn't beat him hard enough. Rodney King was again arrested for drunk driving.
Yes, and this time not in Los Angeles.
No, and as a matter of fact, they're saying DWI, bus collars, gentleman King. They're saying Rodney King was a perfect gentleman when the cops nabbed him for drunken driving. Now, first of all, if you're a cop and you bust a guy for drunken driving, and you open the door and you see Rodney King, I got to tell you something. You got to handle Rodney King like the Ebola virus.
Because he is the richest drunk driver.
That's right. You see Rodney King right away, you go, "Oh, Mr. King, it's you." I didn't realize. Usually they take him off on the side of the road and beat the crap out of him.
It's almost a pleasure to arrest a drunken driving Rodney King.
Hey, we got a celebrity arrest, and you got to handle this guy with kit gloves.
Kid gloves, yeah.
No, kit gloves.
What kit gloves?
This kit that the cops have.
Oh, the alcohol
kit gloves. Yeah, right. Moron doesn't even know kid gloves from kit gloves. Oh, boy. So anyway, Rodney King steps out of the car. And immediately, I think the cops have to put on those special gloves, the kind to handle uranium with and bombs, And they put on the spacesuit with a Diver Dan helmet and a big diving bell. Yeah, like an outbreak of the Ebola virus.
First they smile at the camera.
Yeah. I mean, listen to this. It was such a nice arrest. Police in Union Township, Pennsylvania, about 45 miles northwest of Pittsburgh, arrested King after his car veered off the road while attempting a U-turn, which is a real challenge for Rodney King. How this guy still has a license. You know why he has a license? He's got a license.
He was beaten by those cops in California.
And it's outrageous. After they beat him, they could have taken away his license, but there's some stupid somebody taped this thing and ruined it for everybody. And here's this Rodney King again. Now he's got money. I don't know what he's angry about, but he's still drinking. And, again, he could have killed your children. He could have killed you.
The idea that he doesn't think I shouldn't drive anymore is
amazing.
And that not only does he drive, but he drives in strange community.
Yeah, I mean, drive somewhere you know, at least if you're going to be drunk. And the thing is that, as I said, for years, cops, not only blacks, but whites too, they've been beating all these, what I call, guys who fall through the cracks. You can't really do anything with drunk drivers. Best thing to do is you pull them over to the side, you get them in the station house, you whack them around a little bit, and then they go, I better behave myself. After the third or fourth whacking around.
I don't think
I know
so,
guys.
Howard.
I know white guys who've gotten beaten by cops for drunk driving.
Let me just say this.
Yeah.
There are laws on the books.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Either we are going to be a society of law.
Yes, but there are certain laws.
Or a society of lawlessness.
Now, you want reality? There are certain laws that don't work, and the cops just knock you around a little bit. Enough to really scare the crap out of you. Stomp on your head. I mean, you got to rough them up.
3 drunk driving arrests and life imprisonment would straighten somebody up.
Yeah. Well, it's never going to happen to Rodney King because they call him Gentleman Rodney. He tried that U-turn. It was too tough for him.
Can you imagine? A U-turn is too tough.
Yeah. A cop smelled alcohol on his breath and took him to a hospital where King, 30 years old, refused a blood alcohol test.
Now, wait a minute. He doesn't get taken to jail now.
No.
Take him straight to the hospital.
No, you can't take him to jail. They took him. This is like a ride on a throne. Police put him in a limousine.
His name truly is King.
Yeah, he is a king. He loves getting busted.
It's his favorite thing to do.
It's his 4th time, I think.
Rodney King was quoted. There were absolutely no problems at all, he said.
You know what? Maybe Rodney King is really one of these tester guys who they send to various communities to see if the law is working.
That's right. He's an undercover cop. Well, there it is, and it's unbelievable. And let me
But that is exactly why I said it was wrong to beat Rodney King that way, because now, you see, we can't impose the law on him at all.
There you go. Hey, let me tell you about this Dan Rather and Connie Chung. Everything I said is so on the money, it's sickening.
Excuse me, I have some assistance for you. The Dan Rather, you know that statement he made at the end of his newscast?
Yes, you have it?
You have it over there.
Oh, good, because I want to play that. I want to make the following statement. This is why people say to me, gee, you've got 3 networks after you to do late-night television. This is why I sit there and I shake every time I get involved with a network. If you are Connie Chung, you've got to be reeling. You have got to be out of your mind. Now, today in the paper, they have two different stories about Dan Rather's behavior. Dan Rather's behavior is unbelievable. This guy couldn't stand being with Connie Chung, but, he had the big smile on his face every time. You know how to play the game. And this Connie Chung, they brought her into co-anchor. These news guys, the CBS management, they had to have Connie Chung. She's the answer. She's going to get us back up in the ratings, and blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, the reason CBS News was in trouble in the first place was Dan Rather. Mm-hmm. And also the fact that their lineup, their primetime lineup, and their local news around the country kind of sucks. So they haven't been getting good ratings, so the lead into Dan Rather kind of sucks as well. We've all talked about that.
Yeah, the local news sucks, and Dan Rather sucks in the ratings.
So there's a lot of problems. The problem was not Connie Chung. But look at the perception now of Connie Chung.
She ruined the news.
She ruined the news. She's the one who can't get everything together. And it's amazing.
Things stopped working as soon as she got there.
Yeah. And it's not the network. Now the network's saying she didn't. She went and interviewed Newt Gingrich's mother, and it was really awful, and it ruins her credibility. They were the ones who were thrilled with her interviewing Newt Gingrich, and they were the ones who promoted it. And they ran promos every 10 minutes.
They were putting her into this position.
Yeah.
They were lauding her incredible press credentials. She's a longtime journalist.
Yes.
Major news figure, a superstar in the industry. Now all of a sudden she can't do anything right.
Yeah, they say Dan Rather wanted her to read off the teleprompter. That's all he wanted her to do. So listen to this. Connie Chung, a couple of months ago, set up a meeting in a diner with Dan Rather.
Uh-huh.
Did you read this?
No.
Sets up a meeting because, you know what, the CBS News isn't working. She says, let's find out what we can do to make it better. Meanwhile, the two of them can't make anything better because both of them read off teleprompters. Right. I don't know what they could do to make it better. So they have this meeting supposedly in a diner, and it doesn't go well because Dan's suggestion is that she just read off the teleprompter. Okay?
What had she been doing before?
I don't know. Well, she came in there. She wanted to build a unit capable of nabbing exclusive interviews for the evening news. People like Dr. Henry Foster and Senator Bob Packwood. She had all these grandiose plans.
Ideas, huh?
Yeah. But basically, Dan said, why don't you just read off the teleprompter? And then she went to the brass. She went to the CBS brass, and she said, hey, what? I don't understand this. I want to do something. And basically, they said the same thing to her. Then she goes on, I guess Dan Rather goes on vacation. The Oklahoma thing hits. And he blows a tizzy because she gets to go and he doesn't.
Right.
So he's blowing a fit. He hates the whole thing. The ratings aren't good. So who do they fire? They fire Connie Chung.
Yeah.
Now, the CBS News people can't wait to put a spin on this. She wasn't working out. Maybe she didn't have the credibility we need.
Lightweight in the ad-lib department.
Can you imagine this? 2 years ago, they said they couldn't do the news without her. And then I'm reading comments from other networks. Fox was thinking, they asked Fox, would you have her anchor your national news? They're thinking of having a national newscast.
Yeah.
Fox said, well, we don't know now. I don't know if she has the credibility with the audience, and she's not a hardcore reporter. Now everybody's parroting this whole thing on Connie Chung.
Immediately CBS came out and said, well, you know, Connie wasn't really ever a major news person. She was known for getting the hot celebrity interview.
One observer cautioned that Chung would not be suited to being the front person of a hard news organization when asked about the Fox newscast. So now suddenly Chung... Now look what happens. I know in my career, these guys all come to me. They can't. You should hear them in meetings with me. They got to have me. I'm the guy. I do innovative. They never heard such broadcasting in their lives. Fox Network, they want me. The day Chevy failed, they wanted me. But me, I'm smart. I don't sign on any dotted lines because I sit down and I have a heart-to-heart with these guys. I said, well, the second something controversial happens in my career, you guys are going to back away from me. Oh, no, Howard, we're the controversial network and blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, well, you were paying Chevy Chase $9 million. Give me $9 million. Oh, we can't give you $9 million. I said, why can't you give me $9 million? I said, I'm a broadcaster. I've generated more money on a yearly basis than Chevy Chase ever generated, and I'm a guy who actually does a talk show. Oh, but we can't give you that. We just gave Chevy that. I said, you would have to pay me a lot of money to do a talk show because I know the second something happens, you guys back off. We would never do that.
Didn't they do the same thing after Joan Rivers?
Well, let me tell you. Of course. So I went and did a pay-per-view special, and I turned to these guys. I said to them, I'm going to do a pay-per-view special. It's going to be the filthiest thing you ever saw on television. It's going to be for a paid audience, for an adult audience, and you guys will back away. I do the pay-per-view special, don't hear from anybody. I said, I knew it. This is what I'm talking about. Now, had I signed with Fox, they would have issued press releases like they did to Chevy Chase. This is the worst performer in the history of performing. So wait a second. 2 weeks ago, I was the best performer in the history of performing. Now I'm the worst performer in the history of performing.
It would have been much like after signing with NBC, where,
right.
you know, you were the fair-haired boy, and as soon as that Douglas Kiker piece came out, we don't know anything about him. We have no idea what he's doing.
Unbelievable. A guy named Bob Sherman hired me. He was the president of the radio division, flew down. I know he'd never heard the show before, but he heard I had huge ratings.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing. And Don Ferravani hired me. He had never heard the show. These two guys never heard the show before. They just heard that I was good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Fred, what an inappropriate thing. I mean, come on, I'm trying to talk. Give me a break. I'm building. Just interrupt me, Fred. I got no obstacles in my way. All right.
Fred is the speed bump.
Yeah.
Break
my whole... It just broke it all. I mean, I just lost it.
You're sure.
You should only try it. All right, so anyway, I go to NBC. These two guys hire me. I'm the greatest thing that ever happened. 2 weeks later, Douglas Kiker does an NBC News magazine piece on me, on this guy coming out of Washington who is probably the most disgusting, filthy broadcaster in the history of the United States broadcasting industry.
Barnyard Radio.
Barnyard Radio, and said that I was Satan. Next thing I know...
protect his children from you.
I'm Howie Chung. I call up Bob Sherman on the phone. He's not talking to me. He won't hire Robin and Fred with me. He doesn't want to even know. He leaves the network. And I go, holy mackerel, look at what goes... This is what happens at networks, because people at networks are not great thinkers. I've always said this. I've maintained this. Connie Chung is caught up in it now. She went from 2 years ago being the greatest broadcaster in history to now she can't hardly read off a teleprompter.
She has never done news.
And this is why when you sign with one of these networks, you've got to have a contract so lock, stock, and barrel locked away, because they are cowards.
I even understand they might not want to pay her the last year of her contract.
Of course they don't. And I understand that she wants to get out of the contract because she's now desperate to go somewhere and prove herself. She just got this... She got screwed so good, I think she's pregnant. I think they finally knocked her up.
Maury ever did.
Maury couldn't do it. This is why I swear to God, I wish Connie Chung would have come to me before she signed any deal, because what I would have had in that deal is that for 3 years, you couldn't, no matter what, you could not cut me from that network. You could not cut me from that network broadcast. That it had to be that. You couldn't change it. You couldn't do anything. And if you changed it, there's a penalty of $25 billion.
And there should have been some kind of clause about never saddling her with all of the blame of a failure.
Right.
This was a bold experiment they all went into with good intentions, and if it didn't work, it didn't work. It's nobody's fault.
The network was the guys who took the Newt Gingrich story and promoted it. As you pointed out yesterday, they promoted every 20 minutes and said, you've got to tune in and see Connie Chung with Newt Gingrich. Now they're saying that's what did her in. So if that's what did her in, why isn't the network responsible?
They did her in.
Now, I got to tell you something. This Dan Rather is the biggest snake on 2 feet.
How can you ever believe another word he ever says on a newscast?
He's the worst. But you know what? It's dog eat dog out there.
But play that tape. Here's a guy who sat there, looked at the American public last night.
You should have said, I'm thrilled.
That's right, and lied.
Before we say goodnight, some news about ourselves. CBS News management has decided that the CBS Evening News should return to a single anchor format.
That's because you threw a tantrum every 3 days over Connie Chung.
Connie Chung's future with CBS News is still under consideration.
That means, haha, I won.
And discussion. If you'll allow a personal note, though, I'd like to take this moment to wish my longtime friend and colleague, Connie Chung, good luck and Godspeed.
Yeah, out of the door.
You're going to need it, honey.
CBS News reporting.
Because the spin you guys are putting on this is going to take her right out of the broadcast industry.
Because of the skids he put under her.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why when you sign with these guys, and people say to me, why don't you do a network show? And believe me, I got them all after me. CBS, NBC, Letterman. You see, the reason I got CBS after me is because Letterman knows when I go up against him, I'm going to kick his ass down the toilet. And Leno knows it too. So NBC, they want me to, and so does Fox, and all of them want me because they know I could go on and kick some serious ass. But they're all pussies. This is how they act as soon as something goes berserk. That's why you got to have iron-tight, ironclad contracts with these guys, because they're all snakes.
They tie an anchor to you and throw you off the boat.
I sit there with them with a big smile on my face because you know what? I'm smarter than them. I know exactly what happens at networks. I sit there like that stupid cat that had the bird in his teeth. What's his name? Tweety Bird? I'm that cat.
The cat was what? Sylvester?
Whatever.
I don't know.
I'm Sylvester the cat. Something like that. Maybe I'm Tweety Bird. But anyway, this is what I'm talking about when you sign with a network. It's what happens to you. And they put a spin. I hated Chevy Chase. But I'll tell you something. What they did to him was unbelievable. You talk about taking a guy's temperature. They rammed it up there.
With a curtain rod.
The Fox network could have kept quiet after the Chevy Chase failed. They could have just said, it didn't work, and period, that was it.
It was all our fault.
It was all our fault, because you know what? The Fox network is never going to go away. It's successful, they're going to make money, and they've got backing.
Think about it.
And they're anonymous. Nobody's career would be on the line. They could have said, you know what? We didn't handle it right, or something like to that effect, and been gracious about it. They took this Chevy Chase is the worst. He was difficult to work with. He never showed up for work. He had
no rapport with the audience.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to interview.
You know who did it to me? Channel 9 did it to me. When I was at Channel 9, they were on the phone begging me to stay, asking me to do a certain amount of shows. I was sitting by my pool on the phone being courted. Then when I finally worked it out with them that I didn't want to do it anymore, they got on the phone with their publicist and immediately said, Howard Stern will not be renewed. We don't want him. He's difficult to work with. I said, boy, they were quick. And then I went out and hired a publicist. You know why? Because now I beat everyone to the punch. Before they can fire me, I get my press release out first. Whoever gets the first spin wins. I got these guys all figured out. They can wreck your whole career if you let them. Those snakes, the rat bastards. That's why you need not one agent, 20 agents. You got to have a team. Because they'll get you. And they get you, boy. Look at Connie Chung 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
she's going to say,
darling, never had a problem in her career.
Men love her because she's sexy. Women love her because she's not threatening. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, great woman. She's going to be the one. She's the terrific one. Blah, 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 blah. Now they got a position like she's a fool,
and
like a jackass.
I also heard that Dan Rather, Connie Chung is saying this is the same thing they did to Barbara Walters however many years ago. And Dan Rather has now said, I don't think this is a woman's issue, and I'd really much rather leave Barbara's name out of it because she's a friend of mine.
Yeah. Oh.
And then he gets on, I'd like to wish my good friend a bon voyage.
Yeah. Happy days are here again. Well, listen, all these network anchor guys are show business people, and they're all skunks. And they had no business, believe me, putting those two. Why they can't put two anchor people together, I don't know. I see on the 5 o'clock news they got two anchor people. It's a man and a woman. I don't know why they can't, but for some reason they can't. And who cares who's anchoring?
Ego thing with those guys at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Or whatever time it comes on 6:30.
Yeah.
They all, he sees Peter Jennings over there by himself and he's winning, and he sees Tom Brokaw by himself and he's winning, and he says to himself, to saddle me with a woman is to say that I'm a loser, and I won't stand for it.
They were even saying that he was throwing a fit in the newsroom, which didn't help either. Like, they would send, he wanted all the assignments. So something broke in Africa or something. They sent Dan Rather out to Africa. With that, something happens in California, the O.J. Simpson killings or something. Connie Chung goes out to do O.J. Rather starts screaming, hey, how come I wasn't sent on that? They go, well, you're already on assignment. What are we supposed to do? So this guy, threw fits. But here's my point about Connie Chung. You cannot allow people to destroy your career because they will. They're all snakes, and they all have egos, and they all don't want to be blamed. And so she is put out to pasture, and look how they did it. I mean, talk about an embarrassment. Now she's not even talented. She has nothing. And people in the industry believe it because look at the Fox executive. Well, we can't consider her now. We don't think she can host a...
It's as soon as that spin happens, people turn off to you.
2 years ago, Fox would have paid her $17 million.
Look, what does Diane Sawyer do that's worth $7 million a year?
Nothing. She
But
get
everybody has the hype that she's worthwhile, so they pay her that money to keep her.
That's why when the network fires you, you must be paid out $25 billion because Connie Chung is going to miss out on the money she would have made at Fox, like $17 million for anchoring their news. You understand? So this is network guys, and I know it. I deal with them. And will I end up doing a network show? Maybe. I've met a couple of people that I think I could work with and put it together, but I know what I'm dealing with. You've got to protect yourself. Got to. Because this is the way it goes. And speaking, as long as I'm talking about television, let me congratulate our friend Dan Foreman, who is the former producer of our Channel 9 show and the former producer of Butt Bongo Fiesta. He is...
two of his bigger credits.
Believe me, he's prouder of those than this, but I understand the 11 o'clock news race. NBC is catching up. Live at 5 would probably be winning, but this Donahue gives them such a bad lead-in that they can't even recover.
Yeah, I know. Oprah's still quite healthy.
I guess they can't get rid of Donahue. He must have pictures of the NBC executives in donkey uniforms or something with girls. I don't know what he's got. Yeah, Shkivo's over at Channel 9 is dipping in the ratings. That Richard Bay, that's good. And Letterman.
There's no reason for that.
Letterman fell off 25% in May.
And that's with the England trip?
I don't know. I don't think so. Jon Stewart show on Channel 9 lost nearly half of Arsenio Hall's audience.
Jeez, I guess they're not looking for Arsenio again.
Yeah, where's he? And that's that.
Smart move, Paramount.
And as we go into commercial, here is Dan Rather once again.
Before we say goodnight, some news about ourselves.
Listen to this.
News Management has decided that the...
He has a terrible read.
CBS News Management. Because he's lying.
I sounded better than him at R&W.
That's right.
And that's pretty bad.
It's hard to spit out such drivel.
CBS Evening News should return to a single anchor format. Connie Chung's future with CBS News is still under consideration and discussion. If you'll allow a personal note, though, I'd like to take...
No, we don't allow it. If you'll allow a personal note, though.
Yeah, like they ask our permission to do anything else.
This guy's they're so rigid on the news.
Well, he always wants you to remember he was the guy who started that courage thing at the end of the newscast. He was looking for his own way to sort of relate to the audience because they're such wooden figures.
Yeah.
They have no idea. If you just sit there and talk like a normal human being, people will get it.
Well, how about when he started wearing sweaters because his ratings went up?
That's right. Make him warmer.
Warmer. A vest. This guy was wearing a vest in the dead of summer. He didn't know what to do.
This moment to wish my longtime friend and colleague Connie Chung good luck and Godspeed. Dan Rather, CBS News reporting.
All right.
Good night.
I'll go bark at the moon.
CBS News reporting. You should tell us what was really going on in those meetings you were having.
If he was a real newsman, he'd get on and say, look, we had a meeting in a diner. Listen, I don't want this chink telling me what to do. And, I don't need that. I'm got my own thing going here. I'm going to let her read off the teleprompter. I'll worry about everything.
I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try to do anything to help you.
So what I did is I threw a few tantrums over in the newsroom every time things happened. Everyone got sick of it. I figured it was her or me, and I got her out of there. I made a move.
I whined like the baby that I am.
To him, Pearl Harbor was yesterday. That was his Pearl Harbor.
She is not Japanese, Howard.
Whatever. What is she again?
Chinese.
Yeah, I know the difference. Can you tell the difference? I can't.
Yes.
You can really?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Bring in people, I will tell you what they are.
Gary, on tomorrow's show, I want 3 Chinese, 3 Japanese. I want to watch Robin tell me the difference.
Bring in some Koreans, too.
We'll be back right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle. This where Dallas Fort Worth rocks. 97.1 The Eagle. We're back with The Howard Stern Show.
Hey, you know who stopped by just to say a quick hello to us, Robin? They show his movie on TV every minute on HBO.
Yes.
Lean on Me, Joe Clark. This is the guy, I know you've seen the movie. He goes into this all-black black and Hispanic school.
And what it is a bad school, Howard.
Oh, you're right. He goes into a bad school. Thank you. Goes into a bad school, and he tames everybody. I mean, yeah, he's unbelievable. This guy.
He improves
look at him. There he is.
conditions and raises
Okay, fine.
scores.
This guy walked in with a baseball bat and a megaphone. I love that movie. Jesus Christ, I love that movie.
Call Me Batman is one of them.
Lean on Me. And he goes in there, he don't take crap from anybody. You got right in there and you set that school straight.
That's right. You go in and take charge.
There he is.
So that somebody is in charge of the
Joe Clark wanted to be, he knew how to be a leader.
Let me show you how he's a leader. All right. Pretend we're back at that school. What was the name of that school?
East Side High School.
East Side High. Now we're at East Side High. I am the worst student there is. Now watch this. Just watch how he gets me in line. Here I go. Hey, yo, Mr. Clark, man, what you doing?
What is that?
That ridiculous mumble.
Hey, man, you can't talk to me that way, man. I got my rights. My mother will come down here and get your ass kicked out of this here school.
Let me tell you something, young man. You better straighten up and fly right. We're living in a very difficult society.
What you going to do about it?
What am I going to do about it?
Yeah, what you going to do about it?
Unless you behave yourself in a manner expected in this building, you're out of here.
You going to suspend me?
You're out of here. You can find another abode.
You're saying you're never going to kick me out of school? You don't have the nerve. Mr. Clark, do me a favor. You got to match light my crack pipe.
You're speaking more
what?
Correctly, clearly.
Because
I can understand what you're saying.
In front of Mr. Clark, I become respectful.
Already I've had impact.
A week later, it's like, how do you do, Mr. Clark? Would you please light my crack pipe? Yes. But you threw everyone out of the school, didn't you?
No, I didn't really do that. I just demanded that young people behave in a civilized manner in a democratic society.
But you took the troublemakers, the rabble-rousers, the
miscreants.
Yes, miscreants or miscreants?
Miscreants.
Miscreants. We took them and we threw them out of the school.
But see, there's something you're missing, Howard. What Joe Clark did was he had high expectations for these students. No one else did. He expected them to be as good as everybody else.
That's right. Is that true?
That is the essence of my reign at Eastside High School. High levels of expectations.
Is it true that you made all the kids learn the school song?
That was absolutely indispensable. That was my motivation, my galvanizing force, the thing that brought cohesion to a dichotomized school.
I love those words, man. I love the big words. Do you love those big words?
Do you remember what we used to do with a Joe Clark speech?
What do we used to do?
We used to take the words and look them up.
Yeah. Oh, he knows every word. Well, let me see here. You know this word? Here, let me...
Never heard of it before.
All right, let me ask you this. Califaction. You know what that means?
Califaction?
Yeah.
I would have a vague idea.
You do really know?
Vague, yes.
What do you think it means?
Califaction? Well, I won't put my head on the guillotine.
You won't say?
No.
I don't think he knows it. Neither did I.
You? What is it?
What about, it says the act of heating, the skate of being heated.
That's exactly right.
The state of being heated, not the skate.
No, it says the skate. Oh, maybe that's a T. I can't read this. The act of heating, the state of being heated. Well, who the hell would know what that means?
All right, so use that in a sentence now.
Yeah, you go use it. You know what malfeasance is?
Oh, he
yes,
used to
of
use
course.
that all the time.
That's an easy one.
It's misconduct.
Yes, absolutely.
You knew that?
He used to use it. You don't remember the malfeasance?
You know what vociferate is?
Oh, that's so simple.
What is it?
That's you. Outspoken, very wordy.
Very right. Yeah, you really know your stuff. If you test, make sure you know what you're talking about. Well, let me, listen, as you know, I'm a lot like you in many ways. And you know what way I'm most like you? You forced the kids in the school to learn the school song so they would respect. And Mr. Clark, you should learn this song when you come on my show. This is our song.
You want to sing along? Goes just like this.
Here it is. I agree. I want you to know all the words for this next time you come on.
Ready?
All right, turn that off.
This is what keeps us together.
Mr. Clark, you are here, of course. You are the great educator. You're the man who tamed this whole school. The school
Are you
was...
still in education?
Well, not really. I lecture all over the country now. What I had to do, Robin and Howard, was to find my raison d'etre, my reason for being. Even though I was contented in education, I was not fulfilled.
Right.
I enjoy lecturing all over the country, and now I am going to embark upon a new endeavor. A host of a radio show.
Mr. Clark, there's a microphone there. You need to yell.
It's the first thing you need to learn about radio.
You know, you doing a radio show was a good idea. You know, there's a lot of vocabulary groupies out there. It's a big audience. When they hear your command of the language, people will go wild. You know, I think you should do a radio show. I think you would be good.
You have good ideas.
You have good ideas. You make a lot of sense. You're conservative in some areas where I don't think people would expect you to be conservative, and then you surprise them and you're very liberal at times. You're an opinionated man. You're clear on all the issues. Why not have a radio show?
I think you're absolutely correct.
Now, where will this radio show, what time will you be on? Will you be against that fat pig Rush Limbaugh?
This Saturday.
One day a week?
8 to 10. It's sponsored by Independent Broadcast Network.
Yes.
And I encourage all of your innumerable fans to call into your local stations and get hooked up into it.
And will you be controversial like a lot of these guys?
That will be the essence of my existence. Controversy.
I don't think Joe Clark could be on the air and not be controversial.
Right. Should we rehearse you here? Now, this is a typical... you're going to take phone calls on your show?
Yes, I will.
All right. I will act as a caller, see how you handle it. Let's see how the Joe Clark show would go.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Do you have anything to say, mumble jumble?
Is this the Joe Clark show? Hello? Hello? Am I on the air? Is this the Joe Clark show?
You must be more vociferous than that.
I think he's going to screen his calls, Howard. It's not going to be like our show.
Joe, can I say something?
It seems to me that you're suffering from the doldrums of impotence, intellectual impotence.
I just want to say one thing. Howard Stern rules. Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Baba Booey! Baba...
Joe, you got to hang up on people.
Yeah, you got to do
What's the matter with you? Joe, you know that you're going to get a lot of calls from these whack jobs, but you got to learn how to handle it. You
ride the wave.
Exactly.
You and Robin have been great mentors for me.
Is that right?
Incredible.
Yes, we are mental. You're right. But, Joe, so you will start this show on Saturdays, and I predict it will be successful. You are a man of many opinions, and that's what people are looking for on the radio, and you certainly have the command of the lingo.
And you know what I like about Joe Clark?
Big penis?
No. I don't know anything about that.
You told me that. True?
I don't know anything about
You do not have one?
Howard.
True or false?
We shan't get into those types of arenas.
I saw it.
I'm an educator.
Well, that's what you like about Joe.
So maybe I do. So what?
Educated exemplar.
What I like about Joe, his unpredictability.
Oh, really?
If you were to say to Joe Clark, O.J. innocent or guilty, what is the answer?
O.J. innocent or guilty?
The verdict is still out.
Oh, come on. Now, you can't shy away from country. Having seen the evidence so far, what do you think?
I am in an absolute state of dismay and consternation over this entire ridiculous malaise. It's beginning to etch away at the soul of this country, and something had better happen expeditiously pertinent to this.
Because you think it's nonsense. It's one case. It's a guy who clearly killed his wife and
it really is not that big a deal. It has nothing to do with the state of race relations in this country.
Right?
Absolutely. I think that we are beginning to put emphasis on something that's so relatively insignificant in the totality of American diplomacy.
It has no impact and no bearing on anyone's life.
I would think not.
Of course. Well, there you go. Well, certainly I would tune in to hear that. Would you say that on Saturday? I would listen.
Okay.
I would absolutely. So what you're saying is fry OJ and get it over with. Is that what you're saying?
Let's get on with living.
I think that's what you're saying. Let's get it up behind us and let's move on to something more important. Am I correct?
No, I did not say that.
But you'd like to say
no,
that. No.
I say that let's take it off of the TV and let the legal system go through the process and stop burdening Americans with this ridiculous nonsense.
Judge Ito should have taken it off TV when he had a chance, correct?
he should have done something more formidable than he has done.
If he was a real judge, and I say a real judge, a judge interested in justice, he would have taken it off TV, had the trial over in 3 weeks, enough of this nonsense. DNA hearing 1 day. Correct? Correct.
No, I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't hear you. That is vociferously correct. Now, what? Thank you. So, now, what about...
Will you choose a topic to start off the show, or will it just be an open forum?
Yes, this week I'm in the process.
Yeah, what is the topic this week?
The topic I am leaning towards will be ameliorating, correcting the festering ills that exist in our society, especially from a racial perspective.
Let's take a phone call.
Mr. Clark? Hello? Am I on the air? Hello?
Yes, you are on the air.
Mr. Clark, what are you talking about? I don't understand the topic. We're eviscerating what?
Ameliorating.
Oh, my God. Mr. Clark, we're not as smart as you. Could you just tell me what the topic is so I can call in? Why can't we talk about the Knicks? What was a bigger crime, O.J. or Ewing missing that layup?
Well, I think they're probably pretty much equal in their importance to individuals.
Exactly.
What a sad saga.
Would you call yourself a conservative?
I would call myself an American concerned about the rights of each individual in this society, doing what makes this country work from a collective perspective.
You're a better man than I am. I don't consider myself that.
He's only concerned about himself.
I'm concerned about me. I'm just the opposite of you. You're concerned about every individual. I'm only concerned about me. Isn't that unbelievable? Hey, wait a second now. So you're going to get this show. And what's going on in your personal life? Still married?
Yes.
Happily?
Yes.
You are?
He hesitated a little bit.
Oh. Yes. What? What was that?
Yes.
You are happy?
Yes.
You are? Okay. I don't know. I haven't seen you in a while. Everything is yes?
The children are fantastic.
The children are good?
Daughter Clark.
Yes, she is an athlete.
A two-time Olympian. My daughter, Hazel Clark, All-American. My son, track coach at the University of Florida. My children are doing well, and that's the essence of me. If your children do well, you do well.
Exactly. Well, there he is, Joe Clark. He has it all together.
Have you kept in touch with any of the students of Eastside High?
Periodically, I will see an individual.
He just got stabbed by one last week.
Oh, you behave.
It was unbelievable.
That was one of the miscreants.
In school, I couldn't stab you. Now I'm going to take care of you. Let me tell you something. That movie is fantastic.
I love that movie.
They're showing it on HBO every 5 minutes.
Yes, I think that serves as a motivation and a stimulation for individuals who may have lost their way in the arena of education and in society in general.
You know what's terrific? When you get up on the building, the rooftop there with that little chubby kid.
Yes, Sam.
Sam, who's a real pain in the ass.
Does he throw him off?
I thought you were going to take him, and then you take him and you straighten him out.
Yeah, the big
give him a talking to.
Absolutely.
Right.
I wanted him to understand that crack kills the brain cells slowly.
Oh.
If you want to die, jump and get it over with expeditiously.
Right. Why wait?
Why wait?
Why wait? That's what I always say. You know, these people say, oh, I'm going to kill myself. I say, don't say you're going to kill yourself. Kill yourself. Who cares? What's the matter with you?
That's it.
And that woman who was against you, here you were cleaning up the school. You were doing everything right. You were teaching these kids. You were educating them. And then your arch enemy in the community.
There are always individuals trying to send your posterior.
Wow.
This is how it works. Only the strong survive.
Only the strong. And you are strong.
What do you think of the school systems now?
Sucks.
I think by and large the school systems in this country are brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
Brain dead.
Especially in the inner cities.
Yes.
Blacks, poor whites, disadvantaged whites, Hispanics. They're coming out of these bastions of mediocrity, academically inferior. Something must happen.
Were there any whites at this East Side High?
Yes.
There were a few?
We had 3,000 students.
Right.
10 whites.
10 whites?
Yes.
They must have had a party.
Yeah, they had
that should be the sequel.
Absolutely.
You followed 10 whites through the hall. That must have been great. You know, I went to an all-black high school, and I was one of 3 whites. And I got to tell you something.
In the entire school, there were only 3
There were
white
3.
students.
The last year that I was there.
Girls? Wow.
2, yeah. Margie Sickles was one, and there was a guy, Mark Kaufer, who was the other who was left. It was just the 3 of us.
In fact, I met a young man who went to school with you.
Who's that?
Victor and Richard.
Both of them kicked my ass.
Yes, they did.
That is correct.
And now they own Orange Valley Hardware.
Is that right?
New Jersey.
Yeah, talk to them. They admit to beating you.
Victor and Richard kicked my ass? They did say they beat my ass?
They didn't say they kicked your posterior.
Right.
But they did mention the fact they had gone to school with you.
Now, what about, will you get into being a shock jock when you have your radio show? Will you say words like penis, vagina? Will you say words like orgasm, clitoris?
No, we
will
will
not
deal with higher echelons of the intellectual process.
I see. And the radio show starts this Saturday. Now, some stations are already signed up in the Joe Clark Network, but you're looking for more stations, I take it.
Yes,
that is the purpose of your visit.
Yes.
And how does one sign up to get on the Joe Clark Network?
Call their local
radio station,
and they subsequently will contact Independent Broadcast Network.
Now, you know that radio is very competitive. You might have to say vagina. Every once in a while, take it from me.
Not everybody has to do that.
Listen, Mr. Clark, if it came to teaching school and being a principal, I would call on you for your expertise. Now you're here with a guy who's done radio for 20 years. I can give you some tips. See, once in a while, you're doing your rap, you're doing your whole thing, how people should uplift themselves, everyone's responsible. See, look at the vagina. It's like that. Try it.
And they won't think you're crazy.
They won't think you're nuts. No. You know what you do if you're uncomfortable? First, you cough and say it. Let me show you how to do it. Vagina. People go, Mr. Clark, you have a cough? Vagina. And it will work. People will stay tuned. You understand? You're uncomfortable with it now, but wait till you see the ratings pressure. You'll see what I mean.
You'll slip into it.
Right. It's magic. It works. It's good for 2 points at least. There you go. You're getting it. Vagina. Clitoris. Jackie, show him how to do it.
Vagina.
There you go. There you go. Mr. Clark, I wish you luck on this new endeavor of yours, this radio career, as you say. I believe you will be successful. People do want to hear what you have to say. You have opinions.
You have to be strong. People will try to pressure you, Joe.
They will try to quiet you, Joe.
You think there was pressure at Eastside High. You don't know what it's like to be in the media.
Will you bring your megaphone with you to the show?
No, I don't think I'll need that.
I see.
I'll use my vocal cords as the mechanism for waking up decadent souls.
I believe you will be a fresh voice in the medium. As you know, this is almost like Marconi meets George Washington Carver. You are a great hero. And
why George Washington Carver?
Because he is a great black hero. And I believe Joe Clark is
I think Joe Clark would like to be a hero to all people.
No. First, he is a black hero. And then a hero to all people.
Is that right?
Oh, yes, he knows that. He's a role model. You talk about role models. Doesn't it kill you when you see a basketball player as a role model?
I think that's utterly ridiculous and absurd for individuals to catapult athletes into that particular arena. And let me just paraphrase this by saying, first of all, I'm an American.
Of course.
And anything else is far down the line to my allegiance to my country.
Exactly.
What is he saying now, Howard?
He's saying that he is a hero to all people, not just the black people. I know
think that's what I said.
Yeah, but it's better when he says it. I can take it from him, not from you. You know, Robin.
Yes.
What have we learned? You know, let me tell you something. Will you have by the way, will you have a sidekick? Someone, people think of Robin as my sidekick. Robin is my partner. We are partners in this. We are equals in this. The rest of these guys, I could take or leave. You understand what I'm saying? Will you have other people that work with you?
If I could ever get someone of the magnitude of Robin, I would be catapulted to immediate stardom.
Yes, you would.
Why, thank you. Will you be having guests?
Yes, I intend to have guests.
Yes.
On my show, individuals who are provocative and controversial.
Don't have
to say.
Don't have Pat Cooper. He'll turn on you. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. Listen, Joe Clark. Congratulations on getting this radio show. I predict a big success for you because this is where you should be, talking to the masses.
Thank you.
And we'll look for it on Saturday. Is it playing in the New York area yet?
Yes.
It is?
I don't know what stations, but yes, it's...
All right. And if you want,
look for it then.
If you want the Joe Clark show, what you do is you call your local radio station and say, hey, I would like to hear Joe Clark. I like what Joe Clark has to say. He's always a good guest on Howard. I want to hear him on the radio station.
Or I saw his movie, and I want to hear what he has to say about the rest of them.
Just mention my name. Okay. All right. Joe Clark, thanks for coming by. It's always good to see you, and we'll take a break and be back right after these words.
More to come when the Howard Stern Show returns in a moment. 97.1 The Eagle. You're listening to the Howard Stern Show. Once again, Howard Stern.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Here's a great story for you to start the news with, Robin.
No, wait a minute. I got to read this to you.
All right.
I'm just looking in the paper, and they do that man on the street thing with the Dan Rather, Connie Chung issue.
And everybody looks like they're on some other planet.
Well, listen to this. The question was, should CBS have dumped Connie Chung? And they go to this guy, Luis Iglesias.
Yeah, what does he say?
Who is a stock clerk in Manhattan. He says, yes, I don't think it's sexist, but it has a lot to do with ratings. Ratings sell. If she was up there showing her body more, maybe she would have been there longer.
There you go. I like Luis. It's my kind of guy.
Incredible.
Yeah. Listen to this. This is buried in the television section because it doesn't have my name on it.
All right.
ABC versus Latinos. You know, the Latinos scheduled a boycott of ABC last Friday to protest the so-called lack of Latinos on the network. So the ratings went up. I told you boycotts.
Way to go boycott.
Yeah. So I guess one of these Latino groups said they don't like ABC television. They don't have enough Latinos. I guess CBS and NBC does. So they said, we're going to boycott Family Matters and Step by Step. These guys haven't learned. You don't make an announcement like that because you only get embarrassed. They say that Family Matters and Step by Step's ratings were higher than the previous Friday, while viewership for Hanging with Mr. Cooper in 2020 basically remained the same. The National Hispanic Media Coalition, which spearheaded the protest, said any disappointment about the numbers was offset by a large turnout for the Latino family drama My Family, which opened in theaters on Friday. So there it is. And it's buried in the newspaper. I only bring this up because everybody every minute was screaming about boycott me. I told you, boycotts don't work. They just don't. Life goes on. I only wish they worked.
Well, I suppose if it was a real issue, it would.
Yeah, they're worried about TV. So what do you want? TV. So why doesn't this group get together, put their money where their mouth is, and form a production company and make a TV show? That they don't do. They're going to sit and criticize everybody else. We need a show about Latinos. So make a show. Who's stopping you? You got a whole bunch of people. I'm sure they'll chip in, pay for that production. It's unbelievable. There are no real issues. Real issues are too complicated.
Yeah, they don't know solutions to the real problems.
It's like this budget.
Well, I was going to talk to you about the term limits thing.
Go ahead.
The one state, I can't remember which one, but...
Alabama.
Was it Alabama?
No, who cares
you
what it is?
You just yell out names?
There you go. That's one of the states I know. Rhode Island.
Well, there was a state that went to the Supreme Court to test the term limits clause they had passed in their last election. Right. It stated that in Congress you could only serve a certain number of terms or whatever, and the Supreme Court soundly rejected it, saying the states cannot determine how long someone holds a federal office. If the Congress or state legislatures or the populace feels that they want this kind of thing, we're going to have to change the Constitution.
Right.
So anyway, the Republicans were very upset to see that because they have been firmly behind this term limits issue.
No, they're not really behind it because when it came down to it, they didn't vote it in. They were as phony as everyone else.
Well, they seem to be screaming about it, but when it comes to voting, they keep blaming the Democrats for not getting it done. But
no, listen, if you're a politician, you're a career politician, and this is the problem in this country. We have career politicians that keep getting elected and elected and elected, and all they worry about is getting elected. None of them give a rat's ass. This is why nothing can be cut from the budget. As soon as somebody complains, these career politicians can't cut it.
But they've also set it up, Howard, so that it's to the benefit of the people back home to keep reelecting the people they have in office, because it's through seniority that you become the head of some of these committees.
Yeah, and I actually, when I was at the Pataki inauguration, I got to meet a lot of Republicans, and when Pataki did talk about term limits, a lot of them behind me were going, oh, boo. You know, they were like, we don't want to hear everything.
Their coats over their head.
Yeah, they said, and they support Pataki. They were just like, everything he said was great, except for that. Because, these guys don't want to give it up.
But you wouldn't have that situation intact if you were serious about term limits. It wouldn't depend on how many times you go back to Congress, how much power you have there, if they were serious about this whole thing.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So they've set it up so it's more beneficial to reelect and reelect and reelect. Meanwhile, out on Long Island, remember the death of Vitas Gerulaitis, the tennis player?
Yeah, wasn't he staying in Jackie's guest house?
He was staying in a guest house.
I went to repair it. There was a lot of fumes.
On Long Island.
Don't pay any attention to it. Yeah, we're just making clams.
He was at the home of friends and staying in a guest house there, and he decided to go in and take a nap from which he never awoke.
Yeah, it's the kind of nap Fred should take. In fact, I think Fred's taking that nap right now. Fred, when are you going to wake up?
A mechanic for a Long Island pool heating company has been charged with criminally negligent homicide.
Oh, man.
Guy Bart Torpey of the Sag Harbor and Recreational Concepts Company.
Poor guy. Probably some installation guy. Like they nailed him on it.
You know, the installation had been done a year before this incident occurred. But now they've traced it to him. They say the deadly gas that caused Gerolitis' carbon monoxide poisoning was the result of faulty installation of a pool heating system.
So you mean because the guy was bad at his job, they're probably going to put him in jail?
You act like that's a bad thing.
Bad thing? I'm thinking of a couple of people around here I'd like to have thrown in jail for incompetence.
So it looks like this guy's going to have to go stand trial.
Tom's getting a life sentence.
As a result of the death of a tennis star. There's some, you know, you're always talking about the innovations in science and the moral dilemmas they are causing for society.
That's right.
There are soon to be a couple of new ones.
Go ahead.
Let me see if I can pull this up very quickly.
What are you pulling up? Oh, I see the article.
The article, yes.
Yes.
I'm not wearing a dress.
I wish you were. I know, you talk about this science and everything and what's going on. They report in the paper.
Wait a minute,
a woman. No, you don't have this one.
All right.
A woman gave birth to a frog.
Oh, stop it. Where did you see that?
In the paper.
What paper?
I don't recall.
The Weekly World News?
But soon you'll be reading that. You wait and see.
Listen to this.
I think it was the Daily Mesmo.
Mesmo?
Yeah, you get that. All right, go ahead.
Genetic engineers say they're succeeding in efforts to develop a ready source of organs for transplant operations.
That's right.
Scientists at NextTran Incorporated say they've bred transgenic pigs.
Well, they have bred those.
These are pigs with human genes.
Oh, my. You mean, in other words, they crossed a pig and a human?
Well, they've shot them up with some human genetic material.
Oh, that's so wrong. Liz Smith.
Oh, that is not right, Fred.
Hey, half the girls I slept with in college had pig blood in them. They had some genetic human stuff, too.
The goal is to one day use the pig organs to keep people alive.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The human genes reduce the chance of rejection, they think. And they say human testing is about 2 years away.
There has never been a cross-pollination, if you will, between species. And you know what this is going to lead to. Right now, it's a very innocent story.
What is it going to lead to?
Right now, they're saying, hey, if it has a little bit of genetic human material in it, the pig, then we can use its organs, and it'll be great. What it's going to lead to is, next thing they're going to figure out is that you can actually have a pig give birth to a human baby. And once that happens, you will see these white childless couples going to pigs and having babies. And I'll tell you, in 50 years, you'll be making grandma into bacon. And there'll be all kinds of issues around this. And it's going to be, and you cannot have intermating. You understand? You can't create new species.
Yes, well, transplant experts are in agreement with the idea. They say that 3,000 Americans die every year while waiting for donor organs.
You're going to start to see talking pigs. And I don't mean just the girls at Jackie's house. I'm talking about
pig's vagina.
What is that, Jackie?
The pig's vagina.
Is it wrong? Is it wrong?
It was supply of pig vagina.
Jackie Puppy, you're on fire.
Lift your tail.
Some religious leaders are worried.
Religious groups are worried. They should be.
They say they don't know whether cross-species experimentation is proper.
More cross-species.
And others worry that patients who receive animal organs, such as a pig heart, don't fully understand the psychological implications.
I can do it with the pig's heart, too. I'll take that.
Yeah, hook it up to the electrodes.
Hook it up again.
Remember that Christian Slater movie where he thought he had a monkey's heart?
Yeah, that's true.
Look what it did to him.
Yeah, exactly. He died at the end.
But it always made him feel strange and different.
We're doomed. I love it.
Look what Billy does for a living.
I know.
Yeah, right, that's right.
But it does sound more and more like one of those science fiction movies. We're getting closer and closer to the day that you just go in and get a whole new set of body parts, I suppose. Pig body parts.
Jackie Puppet, would you mate with a pig?
I'll hump a snake. Hold the head.
All right.
I'm hornier than Robin's father.
Sick.
Hey, baby, use your hoof.
Okay, let's take a break.
Yes.
When we come back, Robin, we'll do some more informational type stuff.
Okay.
Right after these words.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. More after this. 97.1 The Eagle. It's The Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Yeah. What's that guy say? I've heard that a million times. I don't know what he's talking about. Is that Ozzy?
Ozzy Osbourne.
What does he say? The first sentence of that song.
Just about what you said.
He goes, and then I see him on concerts sometimes on TV, and everyone in the audience seems to know what he's saying because they're all singing it along with him. It's what? His stuttering job.
It's finished with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind.
Finished with my woman because she couldn't help me with my mind.
What? Yeah, that's it.
Nobody did that. What is it? What part is that? Nobody to.
Oh, then it goes. I forget. Somebody help me.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
No. Can you help me? Help me with my brain.
Help me with my brain.
Hey, I never even told you this. My songs that I did with Electric Comic Book, Silver Nickels and Golden Dimes, and All You Hear Is Devil's Chimes.
And you call them songs.
Yeah, and Psychedelic Beat. The Meat Puppets have agreed to go into the studio and record them properly.
Are they fixing them in any way?
No, they're going to record them. You'll see that these are good songs.
See, I don't want them rewritten.
No, but they, but they're going to do it. They're going to just do the song.
I want to see what an artist could do with your song.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they're doing.
All right. And when will that be ready? How long will it take them?
They said with those two songs, about 7 years. Usually it would take them a week.
You were way ahead of your time.
Yeah, so we'll be hearing that in the coming weeks. Also, we'll be talking about, I've been thinking about this with this story you did, and it disturbs me because...
I'm glad, because I wanted you to...
No, I'm disturbed because you got to understand the ramifications. If you take human DNA and you put it into a pig, and innocently it starts out that, hey, at least some of the organs will be transplantable now. Like you could use a pig's heart to transplant into a human.
Yeah, you're creating a human organ warehouse.
Right. You got to understand something. This is like, you ever see Planet from the Apes? This is what I'm talking about. Soon, animals, now listen to this, will become enough human that you could have sex with a pig and create a species.
Yeah, the pig will no longer be a pig.
Right, and you could have a talking pig. And once you have a talking pig, pigs are pissed. They're not going to let you slaughter them and eat them. Suddenly they're going to want rights.
Their pig rights.
Yeah, right. It'll be unbelievable.
And
then there'll be like Daniel Carver will be screaming about them.
A pig is a pig, people. Wake up, people.
Wake up, human people.
Right. No, but it's just, you're messing with something that isn't supposed to be.
We don't know
right.
what we're doing.
Although it would be kind of interesting to talk to some pigs.
See what's on their mind.
Yeah. What else is in the news?
Well, I have another interesting little scientific story for you.
I know what it is. The peanut butter jar in the guy's rectum?
No.
That's a great interesting
That is
story.
not a scientific story. That is a medical story, Howard.
Yes.
You know how we're always talking about time travel and in science fiction, and especially Superman. Superman was always jumping dimensions and
well, as a matter of fact,
that alternate world.
Bizarro world. Superman could actually go back and make you forget something.
Well, he could reverse time.
Could reverse time, go back, and get rid of your memory of something. So he could change events.
Yes.
So time travel is very interesting to me because I've been studying it for years.
But you don't really believe it's possible.
Do I think time travel is possible? Absolutely not.
All right. Well, a better mind than yours says it probably is.
Oh, I know who is. Fred said this. Because Fred says, of course there's time travel. Fred says to me, I'm out of the room every time you need me. He travels right out of the room.
Do that?
Yeah. I time travel right out of the room. All right, go ahead. How is there time travel possible?
Is time travel possible outside of science fiction?
No.
Well, Professor Stephen Hawking, who wrote A Brief History of Time, believes it is possible.
Yeah, let's see him do it.
Hawking is now confined to a wheelchair by motor neuron disease.
He has motor neuron disease.
And speaking through a computer. He's one of those guys who speaks through a computer. With an electronic voice. He keeps his students rapt with his lectures on time.
Dr. Hawking.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I thought that book was good.
Oh, thank you very much, Dr. Hawking.
And let's travel in time.
Hawking says that it's only current wisdom that does not allow such thinking. He says time and space might both be bendable.
Like your legs.
Like what?
Like your legs.
Is that what gave you the theory?
When your daddy got you.
Oh, boy. There was no leg bending you. Given that so-called wormholes in space are created, so if you can bend time and space, you get a wormhole.
Anything with a hole.
Oh, boy. And that would allow you to traverse time. If you found a wormhole, you could slip through it and get to the other side.
Well, this is Dr. Stern.
Yes.
I believe in breast travel.
What is that?
What, breast travel?
Yes.
I would like to prove that your breasts could travel into my hand.
Oh, breast travel.
I like wormholes. Tight wormholes. Can you follow what I'm saying?
I'm trying to have a scientific discussion with you, and you're turning everything into a sexual innuendo.
I'm Dr. Hawking.
So anyway, if you got through the wormhole, you'd be in another time.
Right.
And our only problem is that we haven't learned to time travel.
Right.
Ours just runs out and we die. He figures that there are other places in space and time where people do know how to time travel, and they're slipping in and out and going everywhere, being on other planets, I guess, and in different times in history.
This guy's better than L. Ron Hubbard.
I just thought it was an interesting concept that a very smart man thinks that it is possible.
Yeah, it's real smart. You're so smart. What's he doing in that wheelchair?
That is a muscular disease, Howard, that he has. It has nothing to do with his brain power.
If he's so smart, let's see him find a cure for himself. Right. Can't even regular. This guy can't even walk on 2 feet, and he's talking about time travel.
He hasn't even figured out walking.
Yeah. Because the guy can't walk, he's going to time travel. He can't travel on 2 feet.
Even babies can do that.
That's not funny.
We have mentioned the Connie Chung, Dan Rather earlier in the day.
Yes.
But they say it's very doubtful now that Connie Chung will remain with CBS News, now that she's been removed as the anchor of the evening news along with Dan Rather. So they're arguing back and forth and trying to come to some kind of, I guess, monetary settlement for her separation from CBS.
She should write a letter to the network saying that we were number one in many categories.
And we'll have to see how that's worked out in the New York Times today. They said the sticking point is money.
They were the Beatles of news.
There'll be an interruption in the testimony of Gary Sims in the O.J. Simpson trial today. He is the second DNA expert to take the stand. But he has some personal business to take care of.
What's his problem?
I don't know exactly what it is, but he has to go away for a little while. He's not available for continued direct and cross-examination, so he will be taking a couple of days off. And in the meantime, Renee Montgomery, who is a criminalist, will take the stand and testify to many of the same things that Sims has. Now, the experts are arguing as to whether they have exhausted this topic of DNA at this point, and maybe the prosecution is, as O.J. often says, beating a dead horse. But the prosecution doesn't seem to think so.
Beating a dead horse.
Yes, O.J. It is in your opinion.
Here it is in the paper what his personal business is.
What?
He has Ranger tickets.
Oh.
He told Judge Ito.
yesterday, there was also a question once again as to why Judge Ito treats Barry Scheck
so badly. Yeah, I've noticed that.
That there is a definite difference.
Anti-Semite.
Troublemaking Jew.
What is that, Judge Ito?
A troublemaking Jew.
You don't like him because
sit down, Mr. Scheck. I told you sit down. You're out of order. Jew.
So here are a couple of instances in the courtroom yesterday where Scheck was cross-examining and Ito had to interrupt.
Yeah, I noticed that. I watched a little of it, and every time Scheck is doing it, he even like he'll say to Scheck, will say, "Can you strike that, Your Honor?" And he goes, "We don't say that in California."
Yeah, they say it's a California bias, and that it could backfire on the prosecution, because if the jury decides that he's being too hard on the defense, they might lean toward listening closer to the defense argument and having more sympathy for the argument they present.
Do you realize that, Judge Ito?
That bagel bender, Christ killer. Sit down, Mr. Scheck.
This is not an audience participation function. Next time.
Hey, don't you want that?
No.
What do you want? What are you looking for?
Isn't there some...
Oh, Harmon Scheck Ito?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Is it possible that the defendant's reference sample could have cross-contaminated any of the evidence based on all of those facts?
I have multiple objections to this hypothetical.
Legal basis.
Legal basis, it's without foundation, and it doesn't address, it only goes up to a certain point in time. Many facts are left out. Incomplete. And incomplete and not even...
incomplete covers it.
Incomplete.
Overruled.
Why did you even bother to get up?
Yeah.
He let him struggle through all of that, helped him a little bit, and then said, overruled. I'm not even entertaining what you have to say. But then the audience laughed, as you heard, and then the judge turned on the audience in the courtroom. Here is Judge Ito.
This is not an audience participation function. Next time I hear a reaction from the audience, I'm clearing the audience.
You can't do that. We paid good money for these seats.
He just called them an audience.
Yeah. By the way,
spectators.
The audience at home, don't be confused with the audience in the audience. I don't want to turn off any of our viewers. Our ratings have been slipping in recent weeks.
I'm losing my Q rating.
Unreal.
So anyway, yesterday Barry Scheck tried to undermine Sims's earlier testimony that the DNA evidence clearly pointed to O.J. Simpson by taking an even more complicated look at the DNA results, indicating that 25% of the population could be represented by these samples. But I hope the jury, it's not missed on the jury that first of all, we're sure that it must be Nicole Simpson's blood and Ron Goldman's blood.
And Ron Brown's blood.
Well, there was a mixture, so it turned into Ron Brown's blood.
Right.
But the point is, why was O.J. Simpson bleeding on the same night that his wife and a friend were killed?
O.J., you got an answer for that? Why were you bleeding on the same night that everyone else was killed? It happens. Right.
And also...
Please, no audience reaction. Now cue my theme music.
Why were 3 people bleeding in O.J.'s car?
It happens. He told you it happens.
These are all very interesting questions to me.
What the hell does that mean? In his defense, I think it's because he killed people. Let's not...
That's some defense.
Or sharp seats. Manufacturing these seats are very, very bad.
A federal judge in Detroit ordered James Nichols, the brother of one of the men who's accused of the Oklahoma City bombing, freed without bail yesterday, despite an attempt by a federal prosecutor to link him to the bombing in Oklahoma City. The judge decided that there was very little besides very circumstantial evidence, actually hearsay evidence, linking this guy to his brother Terry and Timothy McVeigh.
So much for that swift justice theory of our presidents.
So he's going to be released on his own recognizance, or the recognizance of a friend, once he can
they can't get to the bottom
get
of
that
this.
all straightened out.
I ain't going to get to the bottom of this.
And I keep hearing about the possibility of more arrests, but have seen none forthcoming. Meanwhile, the federal building in Oklahoma City exists no more. They imploded it today, taking down the rest of the structure.
After last night's lamb sandwich, I'm imploding.
They are also trying to determine now if drugs played a role.
Drugs!
I said the magic word.
Now, who do they suspect in this imploding incident?
No, there was no imploding incident.
Oh, I see. Who imploded the building, damn it? When are we going to get an investigation?
The people who were taking care of the rubble there imploded it.
Jackie Puppet's imploding right now.
Well, we just heard the term drugs. They're trying to determine if Timothy McVeigh and his associates were involved with or had ever used mind-altering drugs.
Mind-altering drugs!
What about him?
You can't lose what you don't have.
You're very witty today, Jackie Puppet.
Kiss me.
Among McVeigh's associates, according to sources, is Francis Rocky McPeak and his former common-law wife, Wanda.
Common law.
Their Kingman House home was bombed in February of this year. And Wanda suspects that there was a warning from McVeigh that drugs were involved.
Drugs involved?
What is wrong with that?
You know he loves drugs. Jackie Puppet does lots of different drugs. What's your favorite drug, Jackie Puppet?
Gold makes you old. Old for your time.
Wanda believes that drugs are the whole key.
They're the key. I bought a kilo.
Hey, Jackie Puppet, you got a career as a singer. You're terrific.
Cold gold makes you old for your time. Cold gold makes you old for your prime. Now, whiskey, scissors, celebrate, beer, just give your body weight and comes out in your ears while you're drunk.
Wanda says that her husband Rocky owed Timothy McVeigh some money for a drug called crystal meth.
Crystal meth, yes.
Serious topic.
And now investigators are trying to determine whether the Oklahoma City bombing was financed in any way by crystal meth drug sales.
Jackie Puppet, this singing career of yours, it's people say it's hard to believe that you got out of college, you went to all that college, and you took up a singing career, and you really believed in those songs.
I love those songs.
Right, you really thought you were going to make a living with those, didn't you?
Math, it's the best before your time.
Okay.
He's just singing about the wrong drugs.
Yeah. Why don't you update that?
Coke makes you choke.
What other drugs are you singing about?
They call it marijuana, and before the day is done, you roll it and you smoke it, and you'll have a lot of fun.
Outlaw causes fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yakety yak. Do some crack.
Very good.
There's something called Urban Aid for Life Beat.
I'm involved with that.
A big benefit concert for inner city AIDS charity.
And Jackie Puppet's going to be singing there.
AIDS?
You going to do your song about AIDS?
I hate AIDS. AIDS makes you old before your time.
That's a good song.
Well, ever since the death of Eazy-E, it has awakened some rappers to the dangers of unprotected sex and other activities that put you at high risk. So a lot of rappers have decided to join together.
It's amazing.
And do radio and TV public service announcements, as well as concerts to raise awareness, as well as money to fight AIDS. Here is KC of Jodeci.
Jodeci. No, it is Jodeci.
It is Jodeci.
Is it really?
Yes.
My whole world has changed since Eazy-E died. Yeah, guys, I'm involved in this as well, yes?
So here is Casey of Jodeci explaining what he thinks his message should be to young people out there.
All right, let's play the message of what he thinks his young people should do.
We ain't out here to preach and just beat everybody down about AIDS. We just want to say, just be aware that AIDS is killing. And what I'm saying? If you go get your freak on like Jodeci, just be safe about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why do you have to keep saying you know what I'm saying? Obviously, no one knows what you're saying.
He doesn't know what he's saying. I think he's asking, I'm confused. Do you understand?
What did he say? What did he say?
Well, why don't you play it again?
All right.
We ain't out here to preach and just beat everybody down about AIDS. We just want to...
He didn't want to, really badmouth AIDS or rap about it or come down on anybody.
Well, they're not preachers.
Right.
Say, just be aware the age is killing.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? If you go get your freak on like Jodeci, just be safe about it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, do you understand the rest?
These guys all say, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what anyone's saying.
Speak English, Rufus.
Is that a good message? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, I guess it is in a way. It's very positive.
Know what I'm saying? White crosses and acid make me flaccid. Know what I'm saying?
Okay. And what about anybody else have anything to say?
One of the sentences that came out of that whole thing is, if you want to get your freak on like Jodeci. Now, what does that mean?
Get your freak on? Well, if you want to have sex like Jodeci, you know what I'm saying. You know, in other words, if you want to have sex, be safe about it. I don't know. Come on.
I don't know.
Who would know?
Has anything to do with using a condom?
I don't know what it is. What? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the guy said. You know what I'm saying?
And here is Heavy D.
All right, Heavy D.
Who's also involved.
Well, at least I know what he's saying. He gets up and says, I know what the other guy's saying.
We're losing a lot of young brothers and a lot of young sisters. It's not just white. It ain't just famous. It's black. It's rich. Spanish. It's poor. It's everything.
Know what I'm saying?
Terrible.
It is terrible. Well, him, at least I know what he's saying. You know what I'm saying?
I guess at one time they thought only white people died of AIDS.
Now, to be a rapper and to be somewhat illiterate sounding is cool. Same with rock stars. White guys, they all try to sound like Eddie Vedder tries. I've seen Eddie Vedder in movies and stuff, and he speaks perfectly well. Or good, or whatever the word is. He when you see him interviewed now, he's like, hey, man, we don't, okay, I'm not just about Pearl Jam or being a rock star or something like this, We're just trying to, do some music. That's why we didn't do a video. So. I mean, everyone tries to sound like they're, out of it. Because that's cool.
And these people are acting, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, that guy from Jodeci, KC, he's a Rhodes Scholar. He can speak a lot better than that. If he had to, if you put a gun to his head and said, okay, now speak normal, he could do it.
I see.
What?
The rain in Spain pulls me down plane now.
Right, yeah, exactly.
What? Mostly queers get AIDS.
What is that, Jackie Bobbitt?
Mostly queers get AIDS, right?
Right.
Queers with needles. Who needs queers with needles?
Jackie Puppet making his statement.
That's a PSA.
You're ready to join, huh?
There you go.
You want to join and give us your insight on
Jackie Puppet wants to make a statement.
Almost get AIDS. So bag your dink before you go in the pink.
All right, very good. Thank you, Jackie Puppet.
Goodbye, fags. Careful, fags.
Jackie Puppet not learning.
Be real careful.
Well, did you know they changed the ending of Melrose Place?
Yes, I do. I haven't seen it. Don't tell me the ending, because that's the big 2-hour finale last night.
Can't have this discussion.
I taped it, so I'm going to watch it. But some people tape the Rangers games. I taped Melrose Place. But yes, I know that it involved a bombing, and because of Oklahoma, which is it's absurd that they changed it. But there was a bombing, and somehow they changed the bombing to a
You were
show.
asking me about the receipts for Forget Paris this weekend. Die Hard with a Vengeance was the #1 box office film this past weekend.
Well, let's just clarify. During the commercials, I said to Robin, so how bad is Billy Crystal's movie doing? I take pleasure in other...
trying to make it sound a little more professional.
All right, and so what's the bottom line?
Personal. Die Hard took in $22.2 million in its opening weekend.
Right.
To gain the #1 spot. Crimson Tide, which was #1 the weekend before, made $11.5 million on its second weekend, taking #2. And Forget Paris, the new Billy Crystal, Deborah Winger movie, directed by Billy Crystal.
Produced by Billy Crystal, written by Billy Crystal, acted by Billy Crystal.
That's right. It is now responsible for $5.8 million in receipts.
Fred's got more on that, just in his pocket.
In his first weekend.
So in other words, not only was it directed by Billy Crystal, not only was it written by Billy Crystal, not only was it produced by Billy Crystal, but it was only attended by Billy Crystal. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back, Robin. We'll finish up the news. Let's get out of here. All right.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show. 97.1 The Eagle. KGL Fort Worth, Dallas. Howard, Harley, and Pure Rock. 97.1 The Eagle. It's The Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Yeah. All right, Robin, anything else in the news?
Yeah, a couple of things. The teacher who ran off with his 15-year-old student, this Glenn Harris. He's going to be on hard copy tonight, sitting down for his first exclusive interview.
Who does he think he is, an Elvis impersonator? Ow, I'm Priscilla. Hey, Elvis ran off with a 13-year-old.
So he says, yes, I love her. I love her in the true sense of the word. Which means what?
You know what it means. That means the kielbasa.
And he says he's not a Casanova cradle robber.
Right. Yeah, sure he's that. I don't know what he is.
I don't know either, but if you want to see what he has to say about this whole thing, check out hard copy tonight. Also, if you're marrying Don Henley, you got to feel pretty good about it. He married Sharon Summerall.
I would love to marry her.
On the weekend at his Malibu home. And his new bride was serenaded by the likes of...
Sting.
Sting, yes, that's right. Who else? Billy Joel.
Not Jimi Hendrix.
No, Jimmy didn't contribute anything to the ceremony. All of the other Eagles were there.
Even Joe?
Yes. They said all the other Eagles who just got off tour attended the wedding. I think Barbra Streisand was there, too.
Wow.
So you got to feel pretty good about your man when he commands that kind of a guest list, don't you?
Sure do. I'd marry him.
It's worth putting up with anything, I suppose.
I would love to marry him. I would love to marry him.
It's like having a concert in your own home just for you. Tony Bennett serenaded the audience.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, at the wedding, Joe Walsh threw up on Barbra Streisand? Wouldn't that be good?
How you doing? Hey, I thought it was Jim Bailey. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, Joe, good to see you.
This is a loaded occasion back.
The old Joe is more fun. The Eagles made Joe get sober.
They cleaned him up.
Yeah. Now he won't even call in the show. I think he's afraid he'll start drinking again. Hey, Joe, why won't you call in anymore?
Yeah, I'm not going to get in trouble with you.
Hey, how was the Don Henley wedding? Were you surprised they let you there? Because a couple of years ago, you guys were feuding. He wouldn't even let you play Desperado.
As long as I got Perrier, I'm okay. I'm okay.
And you didn't drink at the wedding?
I didn't drink.
All right.
Yeah, Scott Einziger thought he was having, the royal wedding, but this was the royal wedding. The L.A. Chamber Orchestra played Bach and Mozart during the ceremony.
Was that good, Joe?
I want to kill somebody.
You must be unhappy. Aren't you tired of being unhappy like this?
Something to drink.
Yeah.
The chieftains played for the reception. Tony Bennett sang at dinner.
Right.
And then Henley introduced Sting, who did Someone to Watch Over Me.
Joe, you didn't throw up on Tony Bennett, did you?
One day everything was different. They tied me down and dyed my hair blonde.
Turned you into Robo Joe.
Like Don Johnson. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How's
Billy
your penis?
Joel sang Ebb Tide.
Ebb Tide.
Was that good? Was that good, Joe?
There's a time.
Go ahead, sing it.
How you doing?
I love your voice.
How you doing?
I love when you sing.
But there's no tide inside.
Jackson Browne and J.D. Souther did the Everly Brothers' Till I Kissed You.
Joe, why didn't you sing something?
I started drinking in 1968. I sobered up and suddenly it's 1995. How you doing?
You doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Don Henley even sang at his own wedding.
Did Don sing? Joe, is that true?
How's Joplin?
Why didn't you sing, Joe?
I don't know.
You sing so good.
I'd rather play the guitar.
Right.
Where's Rick, the bass player, that troublemaker?
Poor Rick.
Yeah, Rick is out.
Jilted.
And you feel good playing with the Eagles? I mean, you can't drink anymore. You had to cut off all your hair. You have to behave yourself. I see even during your guitar solos, it's so measured and perfect. You can't make any mistakes.
You're asking me why I didn't sing?
Yeah.
Listen to me. What are you, deaf?
I love the way you sing.
Phrases are loaded and getting
All right.
I have
Yeah.
My audience needs a drink.
I understand that gays are upset with Mel Gibson.
I thought the gays might be upset with Joe Walsh after what he just said.
They say they're going to be holding protests at the opening of Braveheart, the new swashbuckling film.
Why? Because he doesn't show his penis in the movie?
No, there's some English king or something in the whole thing, and he has a male lover, and they don't like the depiction of their relationship.
No. Thank God Mel Gibson's saying he wasn't getting any hype on that movie anyway. Is that the one where he's walking around in a kilt? I saw on Entertainment Tonight.
I think you're thinking of Rob Roy.
Oh. Well, I don't like that either. Right, Joe?
I'm thinking Rob Roy.
Right. How you doing?
How you doing? Henley still sucks.
So anyway, they'll be protesting the opening of Braveheart. And a new study says that Jewish men show higher rates of depression than non-Jewish men.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Now, why are the Jews more depressed than all the other groups?
You're going to be amazed at the answer.
I think I know.
What is it?
I'm thinking about it. Why are the Jews more depressed than any other ethnic group?
Pastor Morgan David.
No, than non-Jewish men.
You're saying the Jewish men are more depressed than non-Jewish men?
Mm-hmm.
I think because they're married to Jewish women. You can't go out.
No, apparently it is depressing to men to be married, regardless of whether the wife is Jewish or not.
I see.
But why do the Jewish men have a higher rate of depression than non-Jewish men?
Too much pressure counting all that money.
You're not getting even close.
They're depressed because they're the same ethnic group as Ratso Shlomo.
These are all reasons to be depressed, but, other people have reasons to be depressed, too. They just don't get as depressed or as depressed as often. And why is that?
They're depressed because...
See, Jackie knows the answer.
Well, they're depressed because they feel... Maybe they feel like they don't want to be Jewish or something. You know what I mean? They're depressed because the world hates them.
No.
Because they don't drink.
There you go.
Really?
That's what the scientists are saying.
They don't have fun.
It's less likely that Jewish men drown their sorrows in alcohol. So they just feel their depression.
Really?
Yeah.
The Jews don't drink.
Other men drown their sorrows.
So Jews should start drinking, Robin?
I think that's what they're saying.
What is that, Jackie Puppet?
Listen up, you heaps. Listen up.
There you go. Here's Jackie with some advice for the Jews.
Before your time, go make sure sleep after your prime. Now, whiskey is to celebrate. Beer just gives you body weight and comes out of your ears before you're drunk.
And your Jews won't be depressed when you're drunk.
Jewish men had a 2.8% rate of alcoholism as compared to 14% for non-Jewish men.
Jackie Puppet, you want to sing a song to the Jewish men?
Time. Sherry Herring makes you old for your job.
So drink, you Jews, is what they're saying.
Not that they don't want to drink. They don't want to pay with a buck to drink.
You're saying the Jews are too cheap to drink.
That's it.
I see.
Well, it's an interesting observation, though, that you drink less, you're more depressed.
Right.
They want real gold. They don't want cold gold. They want real gold.
All right, Jackie Puppet.
Those Jews got the blues. They are so depressed. Look at me. My life's a mess. Be like me.
Be like Jackie Puppet.
Be like me.
See, don't you imagine you'd be depressed if you had Jackie's life, but he's not.
I love when the Jackie Puppet takes his weenie and sticks it on Jackie's head.
Get that thing out of here. Get that thing out of here. Get that thing out of here. Get that thing out of here.
So there you have it. That's what's happening.
Get that thing out of here.
All right, very good, Robin. Thank you so much for the newscast.
Sirianni, give me a Hummer.
And let's make sure that people know that you're going to be. You're still doing some book signings, aren't you?
Yes, I'll be in Cleveland. I don't have the exact details, but that trip is not coming up till June 3rd, so I will let you know.
So you'll be relaxing for a while and then back out on the tour.
Back out there.
All right, very good, Robin, with Quivers of Life. And if you haven't read it yet, you really should. It's terrific. And, Jackie, what are you up to? Oh, calm down. Jackie the Joke Man Martling, 78 minutes of jokes.
Be happy, Jackie, but not depressed, Jackie.
I'm going to have a heart attack. We're so funny. Jackie the Joke Man Marlowe, 78 minutes of jokes on CD or cassette, only $10 plus $3 shipping and handling. Jokeland special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. King, rather. This Thursday night, May 25th, at Rascals by the Shore in Ocean Township, New Jersey. For filthy jokes and Jokeland's internet address, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. To order a signed copy of Stuttering John CD, call 201-942-OUCH. Scott the Engineer will be DJing Club 777 Circuit Party at Brothers 2882 Broadway on Wednesday, May 24th. For more information, call 718-BAG-5040. Robin, I'll see you tomorrow.
And now. And now.